Hey guys, sorry about that. I didn't mean to end that live abruptly like I just did. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had to because I accidentally put something out I wasn't supposed to. I put accidentally put out some information that I probably shouldn't have done. Thanks to my wonderful mod, she caught it for me. So yeah, that's why I had to end that live. Sorry about that. But we're back running again. Hello, everybody, cool gamer. Sorry that happened, you guys. I had to shut it down. Accidentally put out some information by accident, and so we was talking about bacon. I know. I'm sorry, but I put out information by accident, and I probably shouldn't have done it, but it was an accident, and thank God my mod caught it, and that it was caught. Thank God I didn't pay attention. I'm such an airhead. I'm a total airhead, y'all. I'm really an airhead. But I am going to bring these pictures back up of Candace and Don. Hey, Lynetta Williams. So, just want to bring them up here. But yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I really am. I didn't mean to shut that down. Hey, Scouts Boo. Thank everybody that's come back with me this time. Uh, so, hey, everybody. And we were singing happy birthday and talking about bacon. But I do want to thank Christine for the doing this. For anybody that's just now coming in, Christine did have this made and shipped to Dawn and Candace. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Hang on. Hang on. I gotta stop it. I don't know if she knows I'm on. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. But yeah, I was on a present live at the moment, so whatever happened, I accidentally put information out I wasn't supposed to be putting out on accident on somebody, and that's why I had to end the live abruptly. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to do it. I just accidentally did it. So, oh, there you go, guys. Me, I'm such a doofus. And my literally my sinuses are blocked, so it makes me woozy. When your sinuses are blocked, you get like real woozy, and that's how I am. Like literally, my head will go woo and spin around. But yeah, that was an accident that I accidentally did again. My goodness, I'm losing it, you guys. I'm losing it. But yeah. But like I said before in the last live, uh, the thumbnail that I have was used from Candace's live stream for the event at the one of the events in her live stream. So I'm pretty sure Candace is perfectly okay with me using her live footage to make a thumbnail for this. And that's all that matters is if Candace is okay because it came from her live stream. And Candace wanted this banner for everybody that missed it. Candace, Christine had this banner made for for summer and the missing kids, and she was told to keep the banner. And Candace said, "No, I want that banner. I'll put it up." And then you can see her and Dawn is very proud of this banner. So, and in the mail is a stand that comes with this banner. Yeah, Candace is doing wonderful, you guys. She's working every day. She's just really, I'm proud of her and Donnie too. Don looks good in this one too. They both work. You know, their life is never going to be the same. She did make it for a good cause. They're never going to be complete. That's like on Halloween, you know. I called Candace and asked her how her Halloween was and if she celebrated anyway, and she said no. I'll not celebrate as long as I don't have my children. And I don't blame her. Yeah, and they can use this banner anytime they need it because they have the stand. So they can use it for church events or whatever they want to. Because I know Robin, the church little lady Lane, Robin does a lot of things in Summer's name. She just don't advertise it, like, because you know they don't want a lot of trouble there. But whenever Robin does things for Summer, um, they can use that as well. She was going to take the banner off that Dolly Vision, Hey Olive Sky, put on their barn, but she was afraid it was going to rip, and so she didn't want it to rip. So they left that one on the barn, and they're going to use this one, and yeah, that's what they can do. How they're keeping their daughter's name out here. Hey, Angel Loader, how are you? You know, maybe one day somebody will see her face. And if you live in a state, you can do it yourself. Go online if you have a printer and print out some pictures of her or any of these other missing children. Michael Vaughn still hasn't been found. Harmony Montgomery still haven't been found. Oakley Carlson still hasn't been found. Oh, and my sister did get she did get a letter from the little Cody guys. Something to do with that little Cody guy. I do want to kind of tell you that story about the little Cody guy. That was actually a pretty good size case. If any of y'all are not familiar with the case that the letter came from, my sister, the little boy was given to his father. I think he was like 9 months old. He was just infant still. And his mother, I guess he was born addicted. And the father was getting the older brother, the 12-year-old brother, to, hey, Courtney, to pee in a cup for him and do a drug test for him. Cody Biggs. I don't know if it was Cody. It's the little baby, the one Evelyn got the little Evelyn got the letter. My sister, Big Mama, Jinkies. She got the letter from him with the beads to put on the Christmas tree. I just want to give you all a little update on that story because I did follow that case. I didn't do it on here, but I followed it personally, and I seen the trial of it. And the little baby was like 3 months old when they gave him back to his father because his father was getting the like 12-year-old brother to pee in his cup. And so when he got the baby back, the father was not supposed to have the mother living there with him. And that's when the mother was living there and she was very violent. And so the father witnessed on the witness stand that he saw the mother hit the baby several times, yet he let the baby be alone with the mother. And so the day of the baby's alleged death, um, the CPS came and visited that baby. And that day, the baby was actually could have been deceased at that time. The mother was holding the baby, and the CPS thought the baby was asleep when the baby was really deceased. And so The CPS thought the baby was actually asleep in the mom's arms and it was probably deceased at that time. So after the CPS worker left, they took the baby, wrapped it up in like Reynolds wrap and blankets and plastic wraps over and over and over again, and took it and dropped him in a well. Like he was taped up and just, yeah, he was dropped in the well. And then, yeah, trigger warning. Sorry about that. My sister does. I told her yesterday. I was like, that's a big case. Baby Dylan, not Cody. Dylan, right, Sharon? Thank you. It was Baby Dylan. You, it's been a while, but I thought it was Cody, but it's Baby Dylan. And so, and I didn't cover this case myself. I just did it. I still there's cases that I follow that I don't cover, and that was way before I started doing live streams. But it was Baby Dylan. Thank you for correcting that. But they took off, and like the CPS hadn't seen them in like 2 weeks because I guess they went to do a wellness check on them, and um they wanted to know where Dylan was, and they finally found them on four-wheelers and arrested them, and they interrogated them, and finally they told them where baby Dylan was, which was wrapped up in a well. And the trial was quite interesting. Man, you want to see an attorney, prosecuting attorney, rip somebody to shreds. That trial was very, very, very interesting. She ripped that mother apart. That mother sat up there and just lied and deflected and gaslighted the whole time. I watched the trial with the mother and the father. And man, oh man, did that attorney. One of these days, we might cover that case. But that's actually the letter that my sister got on that case. And I was trying to tell her last night, like, that's a big case. That's not little. That's a pretty good sized case. Like, this was pretty big. And it's really sad what happened to baby Dylan because they ultimately think that baby Dylan was already deceased when the social worker came that day and she was holding him. Did you hear about that case too, Maya? Did you hear the case about the babysitter who returned the child deceased in a car seat? Mom didn't notice till later on babysitter was arrested. Oh my goodness. No, I did not, Maya May. I did not. Oh my gosh. That's bad. See, y'all, oh my, watch who you let take care of your children. Takes dialogue to hurt any child anyway. Yeah. Well, this mother allegedly had not hurt the 12-year-old. They were getting the 12-year-old. I think it was 12. There was an older brother I know. Um, they were getting him to pee in the cup. But baby Dylan was born addicted to drugs. I'm pretty sure anybody that's following this case, correct me if I'm wrong, but baby Dylan was born addicted. They took him. He was not supposed to be around the mother. The biological father got him. And she wasn't supposed to be there because I don't know if she got violent or had a history of violence. I'm not for sure. They chained him into milk cases. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Marita. They did. I know that they wrapped him up and then dumped him in a well. I watched the whole trial. I'll never forget that. The older son was treated horrible by those so called parents. Thank you, Marita. Thank you. It's been a while since I watched it. So thank you for bringing that. But yeah, that's the letter that Jinkies got on that baby Dylan. It's really quite interesting. Did you see, Marita, how the mother deflected and tried to play the victim? And boy, that prosecuting attorney ripped her to shreds. She was trying to play the victim, and to look at her, you would have never thought that she was violent. That's the hardest thing for me. Didn't like having the boy out of my sight, even though he's almost 15 and almost as big as me. He's about as big as you. He's going to be big like you. He's the spitting image of you, Son King. She does look good in that photo. Hope this is okay. Don't mean to interrupt what you're speaking on now. Ryan finds truth and local to Kingsport. Has done many hikes, Laurel Run Park. He's going to do more in the area to search for Summer. Well, there's a lot of caves. I was told there was a lot of caves up there that could be searched. Yeah, they were horrible parents. That trial was something else. It's a really interesting case. So, whatever happens with this case where the mailman found the 4 to 5 year old and she said she was hungry, the aunt and uncle were taking care of the child. The uncle supposedly hurt the baby on Christmas Eve. Um, I'm not for sure which one you're talking about. Always late. That sounds sad though. I remember the mom that was foster mom sitting in court and crying. Yes, the mother made it everyone else's fault but hers. Yeah, I don't know exactly who it was that sent Big Mama or Jinkies that letter, but there was beads in there for baby Dylan to be placed on the Christmas tree. But it was somebody close to the foster mom that took care of baby Dylan. It was somebody close to him. Thank you, Marita, for giving me some insight on that because I totally forgot that he was put in those egg crates too. I know he was wrapped up and wrapped up and wrapped up. They had wrapped him up over and over again. The art teacher, I don't know, it's sad. These cases are so sad, you all. All of them. Baby Harmony, that baby is just like she was just, I don't even want to think about what that baby endured before her death. But after her death was even worse. They buried the baby on a property they used to live on. The aunt had a TikTok and she had a boyfriend. I don't remember that one, Always Late. Did they find the youngest sibling and they couldn't find her? I know they were looking, I think I remember something like that. Crystal said, Miss Daisy, the lady over here that made that dinner with the mushrooms, was charged with murder of 2 attempts of murder of 5. Made the dinner with the mushrooms. What? I can't remember that one. Made the dinner with the mushrooms? Athena Bradward, poor baby. Yeah, that they found her. I think like something happened to her. I can't remember. I think I remember Dylan's case and seen a trial, but not certain. Let me pull up Dylan's case because it really is sad. Hang on. Baby Dylan. Dylan Groves. Hang on. I'm going to pull this up, guys, and show you all this baby. I think he was like 3 months when they got him back. He was just little. A little infant. This is him. I don't know if that's her or the foster mom. They don't. These are the parents here. These scumbag right here. Hang on, I will pull it up. This is the mother and father. I think he was still just a baby infant. Hang on, let me pull that up. He was just a baby, little bitty. They didn't have him long, did they? Here's the dad and here's the mom, and this is baby Dylan, the one that my sister got all that on, got that stuff for. Was he still just? He was very. He was still maybe 4 or 5 months old. Let's see. Let's read it. Hang on. Daniel and Jessica Groves have been charged in the disturbing death of their son Dylan. Okay. A couple murdered their tiny baby infant before embalming his body in a chain bound crate and tossing him in the well. Dylan's body was found concealed in two milk crates held together by chains, padlocks, zip locks, and metal wires at the bottom of a 30-foot well in Ottaway, Ohio in June. This has been a while back. The crate was reported weighed down with rocks and makeshift iron anchor, according to reports. Let's see if there's any more pictures. His parents, 41-year-old Daniel Groves and 39-year-old Jessica Groves, since have been charged with murder, kidnapping, and endangered children, tampering with evidence. This is the well. Felonious assault and gross abuse of a corpse. Baby Dylan's body was found swaddled in blankets, plastic bags, and two milk crates that were wrapped in chains, a metal wire, which had been weighed down. Very sad, you guys. Let's see if there's any more pictures. This is the house here. Resident, June 11th. Let's see if we can find anything else. I think there was a picture of the crate, actually, before they got Dylan out. Or maybe after they got Dylan out. I'm not for sure. But this is baby Dylan here. He was an infant. Hang on. He was an infant. He had bruises on his face. They told the older son that it happened from a dream catcher falling on him in the crib. They were beating him. Yeah, I know the mom was for sure. And the dad was just letting her do it. But if you get a chance to watch this trial, it's quite interesting. They showed it in court. That's what I thought. How old was he, Rita? Can you remember how old he was? He was still just, I think, when they did this to him. It's not really specify how old he was. According to the report, Dylan had multiple fractures in his skull, ribs, left leg, left arm. Was his body, which was found in the chain crate, had also been wrapped in plastic bags, blankets that were secured by duct tape. Brown said she believed Dylan died of homicidal violence. However, the couple claimed they did not kill Dylan and pleaded not guilty to 2 counts against them in September. Authorities said Dylan was originally placed in foster care because he had drugs in his system at birth. He was later returned to his father. When Dylan's body was found, Daniel Groves had been on probation for theft. Court documents say he cut more than 24 trees from the state forest, valued at more than 29,000. Whoa. His probation was revoked when he was arrested for Dylan's death. Authorities were alerted after he failed to meet the child services for a scheduled meeting. Officers responded to the Groves residence on June 11th, but the couple fled on four-wheeler and disappeared into the woods. That's what I thought. Week later, police returned to the search warrant for the property. They removed Jessica peacefully, but Daniel barricaded himself inside. After a long-time standoff with officials, he was removed and taken into custody. The couple waived their rights to a speedy trial and due back in court in January. And then we watched we could watch the trial, man. That trial. Woo! That prosecuting attorney ripped them a good one. But this woman, like during the trial, this woman was gaslighting so bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Dame. The cops were great with this case. I give them props for working hard. Yeah. I will see if I can bring up the trial of Baby Dylan right quick so you all can see how she was gaslighting. Maybe I can find that. Because that mommy was bad. Here's the testimony of the godmother. Oh, here it is. It was poor me, poor me, poor me. I'm going to bring it up. It was sickening. It was all about her. She was so gaslighting. She was making that so mad. Credits to Court TV, guys. So let's go back. Here it is.
Was Daniel Groves aware of any of the injuries that you caused Dylan that may have led to his death?
No.
Did you hide all injuries that you caused Dylan from your husband?
Yes.
I'm going to object all these questions.
Sustained, rephrase your question.
Are we approach, Your Honor?
On that issue, you need to approach. Just rephrase your question.
Jessica Groves, did you only assist in the placement of Dylan's body after his death?
Sustained, rephrase your question, Mr. Stratton. No leading.
I have a second, Your Honor.
You may.
Wait, let's see where the prosecuting attorney gets her. Wait till the prosecuting attorney gets her tail. She don't play.
Looked at Dylan. Did she do anything else?
Objection. Leading.
Your Honor,
This actually
did Patricia Traff do anything else to examine
No.
Dylan? Where did you take Dylan after he died?
He was at our house for a couple days.
And then where did you take him?
To the well.
Did you murder Dylan Groves?
Thank you, Allowed Whisper.
Did you murder Dylan Groves?
Not intentionally.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Stratton. Scott, you wish to cross-examine the
Oh,
witness?
wait till the prosecutor gets her. A prosecutor's about
The
to
state
get her.
wish to cross-examine the witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hutchinson, you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Get her, girl, get her.
Probably.
He's going to rip her to shreds. This attorney does not play.
Tell the jury how you killed this baby.
It was an accident.
Not your excuse. How did you murder this baby? How did you cause these injuries?
I have sit here and admitted.
Answer the question, please. How did you cause these injuries?
It was an accident.
Not your excuse for what happened. How did you cause these injuries? How did you cause those rib fractures?
By dropping him.
By dropping him. How did you cause that first 2-inch skull fracture?
I don't remember.
How did you cause that 1-inch skull fracture?
It had to be from dropping him.
How did you cause that complete upper arm fracture?
Nothing that I ever did was intentional.
I'm not asking for your excuse. How did you cause that complete upper arm fracture? Tell the jury.
I have to live with this for the rest of my
Answer the question.
life.
How did you cause that?
You have devoured my family.
Ms. Rose, you answer the questions that are asked of you. You understand?
I've admitted to my guilt.
How did you?
And I have to live without my children. I'm done talking to you.
You are talking to me because you're sitting on the witness stand. Tell them how you caused that injury.
Thank you, Emmett.
Judge, I asked you to instruct the witness to answer the question.
Ms. Rose, by testifying, you're subject to cross-examination. You have to answer the questions on cross-examination that are relevant to these proceedings. This question is a relevant question. You will answer the question at this time.
Oh, wait, she's gaslighting. This prosecutor gets her, buddy. She's playing the victim right now.
And what is your answer to the last question? Ms. Hutchinson,
Hats
step back
off
for
to
a
this
minute.
prosecutor. Hats off to her.
What is your answer to the last question? Counsel approach.
Oh, she's not done with her yet. She is not done with her yet.
Okay. Wow. That was a dramatic start to the cross-examination. And you see Jessica Groves with her head in her hands, crying, unwilling to answer the specific questions asked of her on cross-examination from the prosecutor. Joining me still in studio here, law professor and former prosecutor Melissa Redmond, and criminal defense
If
attorney.
it shows any more, hang on.
Gentlemen of the jury, you are excused at this time.
He ain't gonna get out of it. He's trying to gaslight, but she got extensive injury. Baby. I think she actually admits that when the social services was there, that he was not doing well or not alive, and she thought he was asleep. The social worker thought he was asleep. Right there, the girl in the sweater.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to discuss, advise your client as the ramifications of failing to submit herself to cross-examination in this matter. If she does not do that, I am going to strike her testimony in order for the jury not to consider it. Do you understand? You can discuss it with her up there off the record.
That
If
judge
you need more privacy, we'll ask the spectators to leave. I expect her to submit herself to cross-examination in this matter.
That judge ain't playing with her either. He knows that she's putting on an act.
Would ask the spectators to leave the courtroom. Court is recessed.
Okay, court in.
Let's go back and see if we can find where she comes back up. Okay, they're back in session now. Oh, shit. Hang on, let me get them their commercial that they need. I'm telling you, this is gaslighting at its best. She knows exactly what she did. Here we go.
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
No, I don't.
A bit more. I want to see.
Have on this dramatic Friday, Jessica Groves on the stand. Court back in session. Let's get you in.
Oh, versus Jessica Groves. We were beginning the cross-examination of the defendant Jessica Groves in this matter. Ms. Hutchinson, you may inquire of the witness.
Hey, Justice Wayne.
Tell the jury how you caused that complete upper arm fracture.
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
No, I don't.
You remember the day those You said the injuries were caused on the 27th. You died on the 28th, so you remember all that detail. But you don't remember how you caused that upper arm fracture.
No, I don't.
Tell the jury why you wrote on your calendar on April 24th, worst day ever when Daniel was taken, but there was no entry about the worst day ever when you killed that baby.
I didn't kill my baby. It
You
was
didn't?
an accident.
How did you cause those injuries?
I don't remember.
Then how do you remember it was an accident?
Because I would never hurt my children intentionally. Never.
How did you cause those injuries?
I don't remember. I done told you that. And the worst day ever, the day that I lost my last child. Both of my children.
Look at this photograph, Jessica Groves. How do you not remember that? Tell the jury how it's possible that you would not remember doing that, if in fact you did it. Ma'am, tell the jury how you would not remember that.
Because my mind wasn't clear.
Why?
Because of drugs.
Are you telling this jury that all of these injuries occurred at one time, in one incident?
No,
How many times did you attack baby Dylan?
I never attacked him.
Then how many accidents did you have, Jessica Groves?
I don't remember.
Tell them what the accidents were.
You keep asking me the same questions. And
Because
you're
you're
gonna
not
get the same
answering the
answers.
question, ma'am.
I told you I don't remember.
When was it that your husband realized you were pregnant? Wait a minute. When was it you realized you were pregnant?
Probably when I was about 5.5 months.
Which was when? What month?
October.
When was it your husband knew you were pregnant?
Toward the end of October, beginning of November.
How is it your husband didn't know you were doped up the whole time you were pregnant?
Because I kept it a secret.
Why did you guys tell your son that a dream catcher hurt that baby?
Because it did.
Tell the jury about that. You said you didn't remember. Tell the jury what happened with that dream catcher.
I didn't think that dream catcher had injuries to that extent.
So that accident didn't cause his death.
No,
Tell him what accident did.
I don't remember.
Why didn't you tell Jody Kunkel there were all these accidents that killed my baby?
Because I was scared.
Of what?
Everything.
What's everything? You were scared of what?
Of admitting the truth.
Well, tell the jury what the truth is.
I
You
don't
didn't tell Detective Kunkel what the truth was. You didn't tell your son what the truth was. Tell this jury what the truth is.
Did you guys just notice when she said telling the truth, his arms went down? I'm gonna play that back. Watch his reaction when she says telling the truth. Hang on. Watch how he reacts. Hang on.
Truth is.
I
You
don't
didn't tell Detective.
Hang on. right there. Hang on.
There were all these accidents that killed my baby.
Watch how he acts
Because I was scared.
when she says, "Tell him
What?
the truth."
Everything.
Watch his arm.
What's everything? You were scared of what?
Watch
Of
his arm.
admitting the truth.
Well, tell the jury what the truth is.
Oh,
You didn't tell Detective Conkle what the truth was. You didn't tell your son what the truth was. Tell this jury what the truth is.
I don't remember it all.
Why didn't you tell your sister Stacy Hall what the truth was? You told her this had nothing to do with drugs. I swear. Nothing, Stacy. I would tell you.
Me and Stacy did not grow up together. Me and Stacy has not had a lot of communication over my 40
Ma'am, why didn't you
years.
tell Stacy the truth? That's the question.
Why would I?
Why wouldn't you?
I've never had any family support over
I'm
my
not asking about
40
your life history,
years.
ma'am. Why didn't you tell Stacy the truth?
Why would I?
Don't ask me questions.
Me and her's
Answer the
not
question.
that close. She is a half sister
Okay.
that we have never had that close relationship.
So you lied to her.
Yes, I did.
Gaslighting.
And you lied to your son.
Yes, I did.
And you lied to Detective Conkle.
Yes, I did.
But you want this jury to believe you just don't remember and you're not lying to them. Look at these ladies and gentlemen and tell them.
He is sweating.
I can't tell you something that I can't remember. and I
Who
would
wrapped this
never-
baby's body in 6 layers of plastic and duct tape? Who did that?
I did.
You did. Daniel Groves didn't help you with that?
Yes, he did.
Tell them what happened. Tell them about that concealment.
I wanted to be able to go back and get my baby.
Ma'am, I'm not asking you for comments. Tell the jury about the day you wrapped that baby in plastic. Tell them what happened.
Right, Crystal?
I don't quite remember it all.
You don't remember that either.
I know it happened. I remember bits and pieces, but no, I don't remember. Because when he died, part of me died. And I've just been on autopilot.
Ma'am, look at this
since.
Oh man, that prosecutor's mad as hell. She's giving her hell. She ain't falling for it.
45, Your Honor.
She is not falling for it.
You
He
probably
is
held Vistaprint for business
mad.
purposes, but
Hey,
did
that's
you
what we need. Prosecutors on every one of these cases
And that
like
too.
that guy.
Can't forget about that. Or that either.
Where did you get all this stuff to wrap baby Dylan in?
Oh my Lord, look at that. They wrapped this baby up in rocks, something else. That must have been the container that they had him wrapped up in. And then here's the 2 crates. They put him in this crate. Horrible.
Outside, I guess.
You guessed. No, I'm asking you for real. Where'd you get all this stuff?
I sure didn't get it out from under the kitchen sink.
Are you going to answer the question?
Outside.
You don't remember this chain, those 6 layers of plastic and duct tape, 3 padlocks, 12 zip ties, 8 wire ties, 18 rocks? You don't remember that?
Not in detail. No, I don't.
That's not a whole heck of a lot of planning.
No.
Why would you do that if you didn't murder this baby on purpose?
Because I was scared.
Scared of what?
Losing everything.
Is that why you're in here telling this jury the story today?
Objection. Please allow her time to answer the question.
She's not answering the question.
Overrule the session. Make sure you don't talk over each other.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's your next question.
Give it to her hard.
I want you to explain to the jury this process up here.
I can't
Why?
because I don't recall.
Who drove baby Dylan out to that well?
We both did.
Tell the jury how that happened and what you did.
We took him out to the well
How'd you get there?
on the four-wheeler.
And then what?
We put him in the well, and we sat in the field and cried.
Why is it that when we watch this video, you and your husband at the sheriff's office, there's not all this crying? I'm so worried about the dogs. Is that what you said?
I was in shock. I've been in shock. I've never got a chance to grieve the death of my baby.
I believe she abused that baby more than once. For him to have all them injuries, she'd have had to. It's all about her. Boo-hoo. Right. And she was
Judge, I have additional questions, but I'm not going to ask them.
Ms. Hutchinson, Mr. Stratton, any redirect?
I don't remember. I don't remember if the older boy had been abused. I don't remember.
Jessica?
Recordings
Oh,
just got better.
I
Hey,
thought
it's Dana from Stream.
it was an interesting trial because she was just really out there.
Everything you're saying today is the truth.
Yes.
You're finally coming clean, correct?
Yes, I am.
Nature of the objection.
It's leading the witness.
30-some.
Mr. Stratton.
Is there anything that the prosecutor said?
I did not kill my baby intentionally.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Stratton. Ms. Scott, any cross-examination?
Yeah, Your Honor, a few questions.
I agree. I always say 39.
Ms. Groves, I know that you're claiming that you don't remember a lot of the details in this situation. However, do you recall whether or not Daniel Groves participated in the actions that caused Dylan's death?
No, he did not.
Okay. Did he in any way cause Dylan's death?
No.
Did the dream catcher falling on the baby cause some bruising on Dylan's head?
Slightly.
Okay. Is that what we heard Daniel Jr. testify to yesterday?
Yes.
Was there a laceration as a result of that bruising?
No.
Did that result in his death in any way?
No.
Originally, you were scared of admitting the truth, correct?
Yes.
You're admitting to that truth during the course of this trial?
Yes, I am.
And the truth includes that Daniel Groves did not participate in Dylan's death, correct?
Correct.
You lied to many people in this case, correct?
Yes, I have.
Ms. Hutchinson asked you if you lied to your sister. You did.
Yes.
Ms. Hutchinson asked if you lied to your son. You did.
Yes.
Did you also lie to your husband?
Yes.
You're trying to set the record straight through this trial, correct?
Yes, I am.
The only part that Daniel Groves participated in was helping you to dispose of Dylan's body and place his body in the well after he was deceased, correct?
Yep.
He was not aware of any of your actions that caused baby Dylan to pass away, correct?
No, he was not.
Did he help you hide those actions?
Yes.
But only by disposing of the body after Dylan had already passed away, correct?
Yes.
You both took great care to wrap his body in plastic,
Yes, we did.
and that was for the purpose of maybe retrieving his body at a later time, correct?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely we did. We testified that we saw her hit the baby. We testified that we saw.
Did Daniel in any way, or Daniel did not in any way, know of any of your activity that caused a skull fracture that had healed on a prior occasion, did he?
No, he did not.
When that injury occurred, there was no outward signs of a cut, was there?
No, there was not.
Hey, crippled.
In regards to the rib fractures that he received that we heard about that were healing, were there any outward signs that Daniel would have been aware of to show that that injury had happened?
No, there was not.
Healing rib fracture.
And it is correct.
This baby was just a few months old and he had healing rib fractures. What did this monster do to this baby? Horrible.
That baby Dylan passed away on March the 28th.
Correct.
He was a little over 2.5 months.
You and you alone were the one that caused the death of the baby Dylan.
Yes, I was.
There was nothing that Daniel did that caused his death, correct?
Correct.
There was nothing that he did that hid your actions other than helping you to assist him or assist you in hiding the baby after he had passed away, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Scott. Any recross by the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, here she goes. We're going to get her now. We're going to get her now. Prosecuting attorney don't play.
So number, Ms. Scott, or Ms. Hutchinson?
59, Your Honor.
He's not playing.
You just told this jury that your husband didn't know about these injuries,
No, he did not.
but your 15-year-old son did.
No, he did not.
So your 15-year-old son lied in here yesterday when he said this whole baby's head where his hair would be was black and bruised? Look at the jury. Are you calling your son a liar?
No, he's not.
Your Honor, I would object. I do not believe that that was a characterization or the nature of the testimony yesterday.
How is it that your son saw this baby's head swollen and black, but your husband didn't? Look at the jury. Explain that to them.
I can't explain that to him because
Because what?
I don't know.
You don't know. You seem to know a lot of answers to Ms. Scott's question. Answer the question to the jury. How did your 15-year-old son see these injuries, know about them, but your husband didn't? Ms. Groves.
I don't know.
Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson. Ma'am, you may step down. Have a seat at the council table.
Oh. here's where he testifies if y'all want to see this.
Once you see what
She was playing the victim, no doubt about it. She was playing the victim. She is lying and gaslighting both at the same time. So they're going to bring him up here in just a minute, and we'll go over that, you all. Justin Janey, I want to say, she said on January 10th, 2019, Dylan James Groves was born. 150 days later, he was found dead at the bottom of the well 2 miles from his home in Ottaway, Ohio. So it sounds like Justice Janey is pretty familiar with this case. This is the case of the little baby that my sister got the letter from and the beads to put on the Christmas tree. And the dad very much knew that, and he'll testify here that he witnessed her hitting the baby. So obviously, before she killed this, unalived the baby, she must have done this before. So how violent was this woman? This is a very, very sad case. Yeah, someone just sent me a thing. A very, very violent woman to have done this to her baby. So here we go. Credits to Court TV, guys. This is the father of baby.
Call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense rests.
Defendant Jessica Groves has rested their presentation of evidence. Ms. Scott, are you ready to proceed with your presentation?
I am, Your Honor.
Let me call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time I would call Daniel Groves to the stand.
If you'll raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat.
Daniel, could you please state your full name for the record?
Daniel Allen Groves Sr.
Okay. And make sure you keep your voice up.
Okay.
You're married to Jessica Groves?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and talk about an incident that has happened in your life, just so we can go ahead and what we call get the elephant out of the room. You do have a misdemeanor of the first degree shoplifting theft charge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And that incident, the date of that incident occurred on September the 15th of 2018. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Took place at Kroger.
That's correct.
And you actually were convicted of that charge later on in January of 2019, correct?
Correct.
And you were placed on probation, or sometimes called community control for that. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You did not get any jail time as a result of that charge?
I know it was suspended.
Okay. And that could be considered a crime of dishonesty, correct?
Yes, it could.
But is it your intention here today to tell the truth?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you the father of Daniel and Dylan Groves?
Yes, I am.
And where did you reside?
At 2241 Mount Hope Road, Otway, Ohio.
Okay. When did you find out that Jessica was pregnant with Dylan?
It was somewhere in late October, 1st of November when she told me. She
Okay.
told me that she had known for a couple weeks, but had not told me.
Okay. And make sure you keep your voice up. I'm not sure if everybody else is hearing you or not.
Okay.
So she was several months along prior to you learning that she was pregnant, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is it because you're just not an observant individual, or she just wasn't showing very much?
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that she had got a little belly, but she had not been working, and I had been cutting some timber on my property and then working for myself, and we had ordered a lot of takeout and stuff, and I thought she had just gained some weight, which happens, up and down.
Okay. You heard, I believe it was on the second day that we were here, second or third day we were here, that a caseworker had made a note in the activity logs for Children's Services records that You indicated that Jessica did not go to prenatal appointments because she was too high. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I do.
And could you please put that into context for us? Was that something that you knew that she was missing prenatal appointments, or something you learned after the fact?
That was something I learned after the fact, and I did explain that to her. I told her that when she found out she was pregnant late, she had only had a couple appointments. I was, I wasn't employed for nobody at the time, so I was picking up odd and end jobs, and I was working when she was supposed to go to the appointments.
And I want to say this as an OB nurse, that's what they pick up on. Us nurses look at the prenatal history, and if there is lack of prenatal history, or if there is drug abuse or positive drug tests, we go by that to determine whether we should or shouldn't. And doctors too test for drugs in a baby. We absolutely look at the prenatal history on them.
And to my understanding, she was going to the appointments. I didn't find out until after the fact.
Okay. So when did you actually learn she had missed all those prenatal appointments?
After Dylan was born.
Okay. Is that when she came clean with you?
Yes, she came clean to me actually about 5 minutes into the ride to the hospital that she had been using drugs and that she had not went to her appointments.
Was that a shock to you?
To say the least.
Okay. While you were at the hospital, did you attempt to answer the medical staff's questions?
Yes, I did attempt to answer questions, but I did hesitate some because, you got to understand, I learned a lot on the way in there. I was trying to process all that. I was worried about my wife. I was extremely worried about my child being born at the time. I felt some intimidation from her. Being with somebody for 24 years, it's just a protective nature.
Okay. Did you want to answer their questions?
Absolutely.
Were you afraid to, based on those circumstances, to answer their questions?
Yes, I was somewhat afraid.
Okay. We heard there was a description by some of the staff that came in and testified that you were actually looking at Jessica prior to answering those questions. Was that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Okay. Was the whole situation intimidating to you?
Absolutely.
Is Jessica intimidating to you at some times?
Yes, she can be.
Is that something that's inherent in your relationship or runs through your relationship?
Raise your question.
Sure.
Objection sustained.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I'll rephrase.
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise here.
Hang on, guys. Sorry about
When the gunman shot his way into Sandy.
How so is she intimidating to you at times?
Just at times when certain things would happen or occur, she would sometimes threaten me.
Yes, believe the baby was born addicted. It was taken and put in a foster home where they gave the baby to him without that. The mother wasn't supposed to be in the home, but she was. And I guess they had no idea that she was violent.
Causing problems in our marriage, leaving me, stuff of that nature.
So was this typical of your relationship throughout the years, that there would be periods of Jessica intimidating you or putting blame on you or trying to?
Objection sustained. Rephrase the question.
Was this typical behavior of your relationship with Jessica?
Yes.
Still lady comment. That's an overrule.
At the hospital, did you go to the nursery and see baby Dylan?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you go and see him?
Exact time, I don't know, but I had actually asked one of the nurses, I don't recall which one, if I could go, and she had told me that I needed to wait because where he was having problems, they needed to take him and assess him and put him on oxygen, and they would let me know when I could come.
So you were waiting for medical personnel to indicate to you, or were you waiting for medical personnel to indicate to you that it was okay to go down to the nursery?
Yes, I was waiting. I never did get told that, so I eventually asked again.
And we heard testimony early on that you arrived down there approximately an hour or so after the baby was born.
Yeah, no, I don't have an exact time, but it was somewhere like around 7.
And when you went down there, did you speak with medical staff about Dylan and his condition?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did you try to ascertain what state of health he was in and if he was doing all right?
Yes. I asked I'm not sure which one it was. I don't remember her name. I recall her face. She was in here, but I asked her how he was doing, stuff to that nature, and why he was having to be put on oxygen.
Were you also concerned about your wife and her health as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you stay at the hospital that entire day?
Yes.
Okay. It's my understanding, and we heard some testimony, that Children's Services arrived at the hospital sometime that evening, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you were asked to produce a urine sample for a urine screen.
Yes, I was.
Okay. Did you fake that or falsify the results of that test in any way?
Absolutely not.
Was anyone in the restroom with you when you produced that sample?
No, I was alone. The door was cracked. Miss Johnson was standing right outside the door.
Okay. Did anyone besides yourself put urine in that sample cup?
Objection, Hours.
Brian,
Leaving.
sustain.
Line of questions.
Rephrase the question, Ms. Dove.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Describe the process of putting urine in the cup.
I went into the bathroom. She had tore some labels off the cup, prepared to get it ready, told me to go in there to put urine in the cup, put the lid back on it, set it down or bring it back out to her. Do not flush the toilet. Do not wash my hands.
Did you follow those instructions?
Yes, I did.
Was Daniel Jr. in the restroom with you?
No, Daniel Jr. was not even at the hospital at this time.
Was anyone else in the restroom with you at that time?
No, there was not.
You heard a nurse describe that later on in that afternoon, when she encountered you for the second time, that you appeared as if you were on something. Did you hear that testimony?
Yes, I did.
Had you taken any illegal drugs?
No, I had not. I had been up for over 30 some hours straight though.
Okay. Would that account for being quiet, maybe looking glassy-eyed?
I would say it would, yes.
Okay. At Children's Services Board, you once again took a urine sample, and we heard that described by Patricia Kraft here in her testimony.
Yes.
Did you hear that? Do you recall hearing that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Okay, please describe that procedure for the court as well.
I came into the office and
Can I just interrupt you right there? Did you know you were going to have to produce a urine sample that day?
absolutely not. I was called and told I needed to come to the office to sign paperwork to pick up, that was on a Friday, to pick up my son Dylan on Monday morning.
Okay. So what happened when you got to Children's Services that day?
I arrived there. I spoke to Lisa Thomas, and she had me fill out some paperwork, sign my name on some stuff, went over some general basic stuff with me. They took me back to the restroom, gave me the cup, same procedure as a hospital. I went in, they left the door cracked. I went in.
The reason why they're asking this is because I think the son testified that he gave them urine to pass that drug test. His son, his 15-year-old son.
Urine in a cup, did not flush the toilet, wash my hands.
Did you follow the procedure that Children's Services asked you to do?
Yes, I did.
But part of that procedure is that you're not supposed to run water and not supposed to flush the toilet.
Correct.
Okay, did you wait until after you got the all clear to flush the toilet and wash your hands?
Yes, they asked me to bring it out to them. I took them out to it. They told me that I could go in and wash my hands.
Okay. Was anyone else in the restroom with you?
No, there was not.
Okay. Was Daniel Jr. in the restroom with you?
No, he was not even there.
Okay. So let's talk about the urine that Daniel told us about yesterday. Were you collecting that urine for yourself?
No, I was not.
Okay, who was you collecting that urine for?
I was actually collecting that urine for a best friend of mine. I understand it was wrong, but I admit that I was doing that.
So why weren't you giving your own friend your own urine?
Because at a bachelor party, I had smoked some marijuana and occasionally would hit smoke, a little.
So
And I was worried that it was maybe still in my system because I wasn't for sure the time frame on that.
So was it ever your intention, or were you using that urine of Daniel's to fake test Woodland Services?
No.
Let's talk a little bit about the bruising and the swelling that Daniel described yesterday. Tell the court what you believe happened. Well, first of all, do you recall this incident that he's talking about?
Yes, I recall the bruising, but not the swelling.
Okay. When did this happen, if you recall?
It was somewhere around late February, I believe. I'd actually went out. We was going to go grocery shopping, and I went out to start the.
Okay, so now he's talking about the bruising that was on baby Dylan. And for any of you all that hasn't seen baby Dylan, I've got a picture in the corner of him. And here is probably the most recent one. He was probably around this age when she unalived him. And this is him, but he's in the corner too. This is baby Dylan.
Car and let it warm up and clear some snow. There was a little snow one. And I came back in, and my wife had told me that the dream catcher had failed, and she said that he got caught up in his arm, which there was a red mark on his arm from the dream catcher. It had, like the little stringy stuff in it. And we figured that he probably freaked out and went to moving his arms and hit it. It was just a light bruise. The bruising was going within less than 2 days. I actually, because I kind of wondered at first, and I actually took the dream catcher. There was like a little a wolf or Indian thing on it. And I even held it to his head, and it was actually, a perfect match to what the light bruise was.
Okay. Please describe the area of bruising that you witnessed and you saw.
It was just a small bruise on his forehead. I'm not for sure which side it was on. I don't recall, but it was just a small bruise on his forehead.
You heard Daniel describe, and he made a motion that there was bruising where his hair would have been or where his hair should be. Is that an accurate description?
No, I don't think that is accurate. I never saw no swelling whatsoever.
Okay.
He's lying.
Did you at any time suspect that there was more to that injury other than that dream catcher falling
No, I
and
did
hitting him in
not.
the head?
No, I did not.
Did you see any lacerations to the baby?
None.
Wait till that prosecutor gets in.
So let's talk about juvenile court. There were some juvenile court proceedings in this case regarding Dylan and Daniel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
This is his attorney
You
now.
heard how Mr.
Like
Dunham
he announced.
described how males are required to give urine samples for juvenile court proceedings.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay.
I'll rest this up a little bit.
Did you ever take a test for juvenile court proceedings, a urine test?
Yes, I did. I'm not sure an exact date, but it was like within 5 to 7 days after Dylan's when he was born.
If I showed you a document that had a date on that test, would that refresh your recollection?
Yes, it probably would.
Your Honor, may I retrieve that document and show it to him to refresh?
Oh,
his
Myrtle Burke.
Approach.
Yeehaw, Myrtle Burke. Now, this is his attorney talking. This isn't, wait till the prosecutor gets him. Of course, his attorney's going to be nicey nice.
January 17th.
Yeah.
Of 2019.
So is that the date that you have provided a urine screen for juvenile court?
Yes.
Okay. And was your urine screen negative at that time?
Yes, it was.
And once again, was Daniel Jr. in the restroom with you?
No, he was not present.
Was anyone in the restroom with you other than the court officer
No.
administering the test?
No, just 2 court officers.
There were 2 court officers.
Yes, they actually took me and one took me and another guy took another guy down at the same time.
Was there an officer watching you the entire time?
Yes,
Did you have to stand at a urinal?
yes.
Have fun, Myrtle. They
And
got
as a result
ways.
of taking drug screens for juvenile court, are you required to sign off on those results?
Yes,
And did you on this occasion?
yes. My signature is right here on this paper.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Help Me Grow agency that we heard testimony from since the trial has been pending.
Okay,
Did you
what
understand or have any knowledge that you needed to participate in that program?
I was never clarified that it was mandatory. I was just under the understanding that it was a voluntary program.
Did you think that Dylan needed to participate in that program?
I at the time did not even know about what all the the program provided and stuff, but I did not think that he needed anything like that. No.
Okay. Do you recall getting these letters or phone calls that they discussed in their testimony?
I do remember getting letters later on, but cell phone service is limited out there. I mean, I did get a message from her just as they spoke about the weather. It had got canceled that one time, and I did have a couple voicemails from her later. Yes.
Don't forget this guy
Did you think
barricaded
you were doing
himself
anything
and helped
wrong by not participating in the program?
cover up Dylan's death.
Did you come to any kind of conclusion about the Help Me Grow program?
No, other than I just thought it was a voluntary program. You could participate if you wanted, and if you didn't, you didn't have to.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's talk about the lab work that was requested by Dr. Hudson that was discussed a couple of days ago. So please tell the court, please tell the jury about that lab work and what you did, what you didn't do, what you thought you were required to do.
Okay, so at first, at one of Dylan's appointments, he had told me about the levels. I'm sure that name on it, but he told me that the levels were low, and he told me that a lot of times there was some false negatives, but he wanted to be sure. So after his appointment that day, we took him to the hospital. We actually had to take him to 2 different labs because the first lab we took him to in the Fulton building, they did not feel they had the right stuff to take the test with such a young newborn. So we took him to SOMC at the hospital to their lab, and they performed the test. Then there was some misunderstanding about the test. I had actually got a call from one of the lab workers, and he had told me that there was some confusion about one of the tests, and that he was not sure that Dr. Hudson wanted to perform, but he wasn't for sure. He wasn't for sure of what test that Dr. Hudson did not get that he wanted. So he was supposed to contact him and contact me back, and I never did make communications with him again.
So Daniel, let's get into this. Did you ever see or suspect that Jessica was causing the injuries to Dylan that would have resulted in his rib fracture or his skull fracture?
Absolutely not.
How could you not have known? That's what everybody's going to want to know.
Believe me, I have asked myself that every day, a million times since. I don't know. I mean, he did do some extra crying, I thought, but I even Googled and looked up about, because I had to know about babies being born addicted to drugs, and I done research and read on it that said that newborns sometimes up to 6 months would do excessive crying, be more irritable and stuff of that nature.
Oh, now I get why she beat the baby. He was withdrawing. He was withdrawing, and he was probably leaving him with her, and her being on drugs already. That's why she was doing that. She was taking it out on him. Because if you've ever dealt with a baby that's withdrawn from drugs, you cannot calm them. No matter what you do or say, they are literally like, it's so sad. You cannot. Only medication can help those babies. And if he was sent home with medications, more than likely she was probably using his medication and he wasn't getting his medication. That's sad. I'd say more than likely she was probably taking his withdrawal medication, and with her having withdrawals herself, probably couldn't get him to calm, and that's why she took it out on him and ultimately unalived him.
Took it as that was what it was. And I looked it up what maybe would help him, and it said to maybe just stimulate him, change his environment at the time or something. So there would be times that I would he would maybe get to crying a little more. I would pick him up and mess with him, and he would stop.
That was not a stable home for him to be brought into. What kind of drugs was she on while pregnant? I'm not for sure, but it must have been pretty bad. But the problem is babies poop and they rut so bad, like their mouth is what gives them like gratification, so they're constantly rutting, and so their whole face gets raw and chapped, and their bottom where they have diarrhea from withdrawing actually bleeds. It gets so raw, and these babies are just like scratching their skin like I think I had one actually seize in my hand because he stiffened right up on me, and I think he was having some seizures. They will seize. I mean, I've seen horrible withdrawals, and a person that's on drugs trying to deal with a baby that's withdrawing, no, you don't. No, he should have never been given back to this family, at least in the state of early withdrawals. I mean, they don't even need to be taken out of the hospital, leave alone. And if they are sent home, some babies are sent home with morphine to help them. 9 chances out of the 10, if they sent him home with this man, the mommy and him was probably taking the baby's morphine. I'm not saying, it's just my speculation, but if they were already hooked to drugs and they were sending this baby home with morphine as a treatment, could have very well have. The baby went home with a foster mom, Lainey. Why did the hospital send the baby home still with withdrawals? Do you know? I don't know if he was withdrawing bad. It does take months for them to get over this withdrawals. And I don't know at what stage they sent him home, but he was in a foster home for a short period of time. I think, anybody know how many months he was with the foster mom? Because the foster mom actually testifies. But there's a good chance with him just being as young as he was that he could still be having some withdrawals. I don't know the case of how bad his withdrawals was, but it sounds like to me that he's still having some withdrawals. Now, when I got my grandson, he was a month old and he was still doing a little bit of withdrawals. At that time, I wasn't a nurse and I didn't know, but he was still having a little bit of withdrawals when it took him quite a long time to get over them withdrawals. And I had no idea that he was actually doing it at that time.
I had a workshop out back of my house. Sometimes I would take him out there with me just to change his environment, and it would help.
That right there lets you know that he took that baby outside because he probably seen her or witnessed her being mean to him. So he, instead of stepping up and taking that baby away, he let her fly mad and hurt that baby, in my opinion.
Other than the incident that we have already talked about, that Daniel described yesterday, did you notice any other outward signs of bruising or swelling to Dylan?
No, I did not.
Did you in any way cause the death of Dylan?
Absolutely not.
Did you observe Jessica in any way cause the death of Dylan?
No, I did not.
Did you suspect any behavior of Jessica that would have resulted in Dylan's death?
Watch him.
No, I did not.
He's lying.
She was always a loving, caring mother to Daniel Jr., and I've never expected anything like this.
Did you actively participate in Dylan's death or observe anyone, including Jessica, cause Dylan's death?
No, I did not.
And once again, when did he pass away?
March 28th, 2019, within probably a couple hours after the social worker or the CPS worker was there.
So he's saying a couple hours after the CPS worker was there, but we don't know. I think they were on meth. Their mug shots are too bad. Yeah, they probably was. And the social worker didn't know for sure if he was alive or not because she thought he was sleeping, but he could have very well been either on his way out or, you know.
So why did you tell Jody Conkle that it was a day or two after the caseworker was there?
Because at the time, I'd been in such grief and shock and being sick, because I did use some drugs after my last son was taken. I just went through the experience of losing my baby and losing my older son, and I fell to drugs. I admit that. But And I wasn't even sure of the date that the CPS worker was there. And that's why I told Ms. Conkle that it was the 28th, 29th, 30th, somewhere right in there. I wasn't for sure, what date it was at the time.
You had a landmark for the day, with children's services worker
Yeah,
being
yeah.
there, but you weren't exactly sure what the date was.
Yeah, I just wasn't for sure.
Same. Raise your question.
Did you use
Hi,
Patricia
Tam.
Kraft being there as a landmark for the date of Dylan's death?
Yes, I did.
Was that the best day you could reference it to?
Yes,
The same.
When you were talking to Jody Conkle, were you doing your best to give her a frame of reference of time?
Objection honorable.
Same. Raise your questions, Ms. Bennett. Open to the questions.
That's exactly right, bless Lulu.
Please describe for the court
Little pixie.
the process of giving Jody Conkle a date for when baby Dylan had passed away.
The date that the CPS worker was there last.
So when you were testing clean for children's services and juvenile court in January, were you actually clean?
Yes, I was.
So when did you start using?
Early May of 2019.
So what happened after you discovered Dylan had passed away?
Well, I had came into the living room and found him in his pack and play where he laid out during the daytime. I'd found him there deceased. And I went into total shock, grief, of course.
How did Jessica behave towards you after you, strike that, Your Honor, I want to rephrase. Was Jessica in the room with you when you discovered that Dylan had passed away?
When I first walked in there, she was not, but she had followed me in within just probably a minute.
So what was Jessica's reaction?
She was very upset, of course, in shock too. She seemed somewhat nervous and scared and started telling me that, if they would be blaming it on me and us and because of being involved in CPS.
What was her demeanor and her behavior like towards you?
She was very radical, very forthcoming, very just kind of pressuring me.
Was there any of this fear and intimidation that you had described from her behavior in the past?
The same. Raise the question.
He knows what she did. She wasn't
What were your
surprised.
conversations?
She knows what she did.
Just that about CPS, thinking that it would be both our faults. And she kept telling me, they're going to blame you. They're going to blame you. You have custody of the baby. They're going to blame you and not me.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel very scared.
What was her demeanor like?
She was forceful, kept over and over and over repeating to me that they would blame me because I had custody of the baby.
Because you were responsible
What
for
became
that baby.
your honest belief at that time in regards to being blamed for Dylan's death, based on Jessica's attitude and conversations to you?
I got set in my mind that they probably would blame me because I had custody and was responsible for him.
What went into your decision-making to place Dylan into the well?
That same stuff, and her forcing me and kept telling me that they was going to blame me.
What was your reason for not being truthful at first with the law enforcement?
I was just very scared, very afraid.
Were you sick?
Yes, I was sick. I was very afraid of they was going to just blame it all on me, basically.
And was that based on what Jessica had told you she would do?
Yes.
Overruled.
Yes, it was.
Again, Daniel, did you cause Dylan's death?
Absolutely not.
Did you in any way hide him from children's services while he was alive?
No, I did not. Did I cancel some appointments? Yes, I did, but I did not know why hide him from CPS.
Did you hurt him in any way?
Absolutely not.
Did you help Jessica hurt him?
No,
Did you know she would hurt him or cause his death?
no.
Your Honor, I have no more questions at this time. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. You described this relationship that you have with Jessica and that you've been together over 24 years and that you've been married for over 20, is that correct?
Correct.
Even though you've been together for all of that time and you've been married for a significant portion of time, if you had suspected she was capable of causing injuries that would cause him to be seriously harmed or that would have resulted in his death, what would you have done in regards to Jessica being permitted to be around him?
I would absolutely not have let her around him. Just like if I would have knew that any of these injuries had occurred to him, it would have been a total different decision to when I decided to help her hide him too.
Lies.
I just thought he had just passed away for some other reason.
You knew.
Do you believe that you were deceived by Jessica?
Actually, the first question was Scott.
Is this a situation where you were deceived by Jessica, sorry, Your Honor?
Yeah, still waiting. Go ahead, ask modified witness.
Okay. Throughout the time that you had Dylan in your home, throughout the time that Jessica had access to him, were you, or do you have a belief that you were deceived by Jessica?
Absolutely.
Did you do anything? Did you have any other behaviors? Did you have any other responsibilities in this case other than not reporting his death to authorities?
Other than helping her take him to the well, I had no other part in it.
Did you have any other responsibilities other than help prepare Dylan to put him in those crates?
Rephrase the question.
Did you have any other responsibility in his death or hiding from law enforcement other than not reporting his death, preparing him to be put in those crates, and ultimately placing him in the well?
No, I had no other involvement in it.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions at this time.
Thank you, Mrs. Scott. Mr. Stratton, do you wish to cross-examine?
Oh, he's guilty.
Mr. Groves, how long have you and Jessica been together?
Approximately 24 years.
24 years. And of those years, how long have you been married?
Over 20.
Over 20. In any time over those 20 years, was there a point in which you have seen?
Money makes the world go round. Crypto makes the world go forward.
Terrible
Except
as in,
here recently.
terrible as in,
Did she ever harm your oldest child?
absolutely not.
No indication from him?
No.
Okay. So you were together for this entire period of time and come to understand how she interacts with the child.
Correct.
Okay. Is it a surprise to you that this happened?
Absolutely. To say the least.
And once again, he died on March 28th, correct?
He died on March 28th after the CPS worker left.
For the question, John.
Statement cross-examine.
I'm ready for the prosecutor to get him now. I hope she gets him soon. I don't know who this guy here is, but I hope the prosecutor gets him. Because he's lying. He's lying. Look at her. She's still playing guilty victim. Still playing victim of this baby's death.
Mr. Groves,
Yes, sir.
isn't it true that you promised Children's Services Board that you were employed?
Yes, I did.
Isn't it true that you indicated to the Children's Services Board you worked at Rural King?
Yes, it was.
Isn't it true you led Children's Services to believe? Isn't it true that you led Children's Services to believe you were still employed at Rural King?
Yes, it was.
Isn't it true that you promised Children's Services that you didn't have drug problem?
Yes, it was.
Isn't it true that you didn't mention to Children's Services any marijuana?
I did not.
Isn't it true that you were, for a period of months before and after you had the baby in your home, collecting urine from your son, Daniel?
Before, yes.
So when Daniel says before and after, he is lying.
I do not recall giving him or asking him for any urine after Dylan's birth.
You heard him testify here yesterday, correct?
I heard him do that, but I think he was mistaken on dates.
So you're saying suddenly you don't recall this from yesterday. You don't recall giving it to him after, getting it from him after.
No.
Explain the process where you got it from.
I would ask him to put urine into a cup, and I would put it into another bottle.
Smaller,
Mhm.
easier to conceal,
Mhm.
easier to keep warm.
Sir, you can answer yes or no, please.
easier to keep warm. I have no idea about that.
You have no idea. We had a good buddy that had a good idea. Did he tell you how to do that? Is that what happened there?
He never told me how he did it.
Never told you how, you just knew to put it in some kind of smaller cup for concealment.
Well, the cup that I had him collected in did not have a lid or nothing on it.
Okay, so then the other cup had a lid.
Mhm.
It was smaller
Yes.
for concealment.
I don't know for concealment. I just know it's smaller to give it to my friend.
And your testimony that you were fearful that you were going to test positive for marijuana.
Yes, because I was unaware of how long it stayed in my system.
Okay, and so then you tested at Children's Services, correct?
Yes.
You tested clean,
Yes.
but then you still had Dylan give you urine.
Daniel
give you urine.
After Dylan was born?
Yes.
No.
No. So Daniel's totally mistaken about that.
I think he just misunderstood. Yes.
So you think he misunderstands when his dad comes up to him and says, "Pee in a cup for me."
On dates? Yes, I do. He's been through a lot in the last year.
He sure has. I'll withdraw the commentary, Your Honor. Apologize to the court. So these nurses at the hospital, you heard their testimony the other day.
Yes.
You heard their experience.
Yes.
You heard the drug epidemic that they're battling on a daily basis at Southern Ohio Medical Center.
Yes.
You're saying all those nurses, that nurse that said she saw you high later in that day was wrong.
Yes, she was.
She was wrong or lying?
Yes.
One or the other, right?
I don't think she was lying. I think she was mistaken.
She was mistaken.
Everybody's not right all the time, are they?
No, they're not.
Absolutely.
But I'll ask the questions. All right?
Sorry.
So they were wrong.
They was mistaken on me. Yes, they was.
And Dylan, or not Dylan, and Daniel was mistaken.
Just by a date.
So you're denying leaving the hospital to get high at that point.
I did not leave the hospital and get high. No.
They were also wrong about you're relating to them that she hadn't been going to prenatal care. You were aware she hadn't been going to prenatal care because she was too high to go.
I was not aware.
Objection. I would ask that he would clarify who the they was, because I do not believe that was medical staff. We still going to get medical staff.
Don't argue your objection.
Sorry.
Oh.
Repeat the question.
Isn't it true you represented that she wasn't going to prenatal care because she was too high?
I did to CPS workers after the fact that I found out.
So you never told that to anyone else?
No.
And you've never phrased that in a way. You're saying they misinterpreted what you said.
Misinterpreted what I said about what?
Because you had knowledge that she wasn't going to prenatal care because she was high.
Because I was told that by her.
But when they testified here, you had knowledge in their impression, correct?
The nurses?
Nurses, CPS workers, whoever else you told.
Yes, because she told me that on the way to the hospital that morning.
He knew. You can't live with somebody on drugs and not know. He knew she was on drugs. He's lying to protect her. And
Let me ask you about another promise you made Children's Services. Isn't it true that you promised Children's Services that your wife would not be in the home unsupervised or overnight?
Yes, I did.
You broke that promise, did you?
As to which aspect?
Did you break that promise or not? How hard is it?
She did stay there a couple nights. Yes, she did.
Just a couple nights?
Yes.
So when Daniel said she was there, he just been a couple nights? Is that your testimony?
She was not leaving until after he was asleep, and she was returning right before he got up for school because I was worried that he was going to be extremely worried about her not being there because he was.
she wasn't supposed to be there
So
herself.
you allowed that to happen?
A couple times, yes, I did.
Did you report to Children's Services that you violated conditions of the safety plan or the safety, any of those plans?
I did tell Patricia Kraft that she did stay there one night, and Patricia Kraft told me that that was fine. She appreciated my honesty.
Patricia Kraft testified to that?
I'm not aware if she did or not.
He was on them too, Maya. Yeah, probably. That baby
You can
was.
see that baby Dylan had 3 separate instances of injuries.
Yes, I know that now.
You know that now. But you testified on direct that you had no way of knowing that. You didn't know that.
No, I did not. Other than the small bruise from the dream catcher.
If that whole baby's head was black, he knew. If that baby's head was black and swelled, he knew. He's lying for her and for himself. If that young boy saw it and witnessed it, then he did too. Stop lying. Stop the lies. He's trying to put total blame on the wife.
Baby Dylan had all these injuries and you didn't notice it.
Wherever your business needs to show up, Vistaprint can print it, like on windows or on cups.
I had to just be inside my home or briefly stepping out to go outside to take care of my dog or something.
Right.
I heard from the testimony Did you care for the child at the home?
Yes, I did.
Did you bathe the child?
Yes, I did.
Change child's diapers?
Yes, I did.
Change child's clothing?
Yes, I did. Are you asking me if I was the only one that done it?
No, I'm asking you, did you do that?
Yes, I did.
6267, Your Honor. Sir, these nodules we see here is exhibit. Baby Dylan's ribs. It's just on the other layer of the skin. You're saying you didn't see anything in his rib cage, any bruising?
No, I did not see no bruising. Never.
State's exhibit 58. You didn't see that bruising?
No.
State's exhibit 58. You didn't see the bruising on the head?
No, and as I recall, the expert said that not always was there bruising.
No, but your son said he saw bruising all around the head, didn't he?
I did not see no bruising other than the bruise on his forehead.
We have this picture from that same exhibit. There's bruising all around his forehead, doesn't it?
I recall the expert saying that that could have been from postmortem.
But it just happens to match what Daniel Jr. said the bruising was, didn't it?
It would appear to.
I'll leave that to the jury to decide.
I do want to say this, by them putting that baby in that cold water, it was winter time and he was placed in cold water. It probably did preserve that baby quite well. So I would think that that baby still had everything on it and was preserved pretty well because they put him in that cold well in the ground. I know, me too, Justin, Janie. Me too. That poor baby, what did he endure what little time he was on earth? And he looked over at that like it wasn't nothing. He knowed what that baby looked like. He knowed exactly what that baby looked like.
Remember talking to Jody Conkle on multiple occasions.
Yes, I do.
You were talking to her about, let's talk about this. You remember Dr. Hudson testifying?
Yes, I do.
That the baby had that kind of injury to be crying in pain.
Yes, I remember that testimony.
You remember Dr. Brown testifying that the other indicia of an issue not only would be bruising, swelling, but the baby crying or screaming in pain.
Yes, I do.
Your call, talking to Jody Conkle on June 14th, 2019.
I recall talking to her a few times, but I don't remember which exact date.
Okay. Well, do you remember at one point in that conversation with her, talking about him crying and crying and crying, and you take him out to that building and he suddenly stopped crying?
Yes, I mentioned that before, that I thought it was from him being
And then you
addicted
come
to
bring him
drugs.
back in the house.
Hey, Rhonda Lynn.
I'm sorry, sir, did you finish your answer?
Yes, as I stated before, I thought it was because of him being more addicted to drugs. Like I said, I looked it up and they said that infants sometimes up to 6 months would be more irritable, more touchy, do a lot more crying.
So you looked it up on Google, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I believe it was Google, yes. It was somewhere online.
Somewhere online.
Mhm.
Didn't call CPS?
Over some extra crying? No.
Didn't talk to your LPN wife?
I did talk to her about it and she told me that it was most likely due to being addicted to drugs.
Same lady you're scared of?
Yes.
Didn't call Dr. Hudson?
No, I had no concern to call a doctor. It was just merely crying.
So
He
you
was
don't
never-
remember telling Detective Conkle that you saw your wife hit the baby a couple times?
I said that I had what I thought were dreams of it, but I was unsure if they were true or not. I
Did
was
you or
very
did you
sleep
not
deprived.
say you saw your wife you saw your wife strike the baby?
I said I did, but I thought it was dreams.
So it's a dream.
I was very sleep deprived.
Didn't somebody else say that they thought that was a dream? Did Summer's case? Didn't Andy B say that him saying Summer's dead body or Summer died on Saturday was a dream? Didn't he say that? Y'all remember that? When asked about it, he about why his daughter said that and why Jody Sue said that, he said it was a dream. Do y'all remember that? That sounds familiar, don't it?
Is it true you said to Detective Conkle, I know it's fucked up. I should have never done this way. I knew better. And I've seen her hit him probably 4 times, probably.
I don't recall how many times I said.
4 times on the head? You remember Detective Conco asking you that?
I don't recall what questions were asked.
You don't recall answering yeah
I do recall answering yes
to that question?
to those questions, yes.
So you do remember telling Detective Conco 4 times in the head?
But
answering that
I didn't say that I just recall her hitting. I said a smack.
Well, what the hell do you think a
So you're not
smack is
saying
to
her
a
hit him
baby?
probably 4 times.
My exact words, I don't recall exactly, no.
Is it true you told Detective Conco she said because he wouldn't stop crying, because she was so agitated and aggravated, and if I bought her Coke, she wouldn't be that way? You don't recall hearing that?
I recall saying that we did fight because she was wanting me to buy her drugs, yes.
So you do recall her threatening the child?
Direct threat, no.
No, not direct threat.
So, like I said, but he wouldn't give her drugs. He wouldn't buy her drugs. So she flew mad and took it out on the baby. And she hurt that baby every time she didn't get what she wants. On top of the baby being addicted to drugs and probably not consolable because of the drug addiction, she flew mad and in a rage. And he's seen her do this. I guarantee it.
Okay, so you saw her strike the baby 4 times, correct?
Somewhere around there, yes.
And you didn't take it as a threat? That she was aggravated with the baby, all you need to do is buy her Coke?
As a direct threat, no.
They didn't give you cause for concern for the safety of this baby?
Yes, it did give me cause for concern.
Okay, so now you are concerned at your wife's behavior in the home.
Stuck poop can make thin women feel
Darn
plus
it.
size. To have the best poop of your life, you don't need fiber.
About the danger to the baby.
Yes, I was, but she was.
And what did you do? Did you call Children's Services? Did you call Children's Services and tell them?
No, I did not. She was going through therapy.
Did you call the police?
No, I did not.
Did you call Andrea Bowling?
No, I did not.
Did you go down to the neighbors and say, I'm concerned?
No, I did not.
Did you kick her out of the house that she wasn't supposed to be in the first place?
She was not living there all the time. She was allowed to be there during the day.
And you let her come back in after that?
Yes, I did.
You
Go on say. One time I saw her, she had a hold of him like below his arms. Remember this? Telling Jetty Conco that?
Or she picked him up aggressively out of the seat, yes.
Like by his ribs or something, and she just kind of went, ah. Remember that?
I don't recall exactly what all we talked about now.
Matter of fact, did you tell Detective Conco that might have been how he got his broken ribs?
I said, I wonder now if that wasn't how.
Well, you saw it then, right?
I didn't see nothing that I thought would occur to any injuries.
You're not making this up then, are you, Dave?
No, I'm not.
You're not making this whole story up, and she's the one that caused the injuries, are you?
Absolutely not.
So you saw her do that?
I saw her be aggressive with him, but cause no injuries, no. I even observed the
Okay,
child.
so now it's your testimony that didn't cause any injuries.
No, it did not.
So Dr. Brown is full of crap. Is that your testimony?
Dr. Brown did not say that would cause the injuries.
So let's see what Dr. Brown said. Dr. Brown, isn't it true? She said the fractures on the rib were healing fractures.
Yes.
She said that was, in her opinion, her medical opinion from years of practicing medicine, that those were the first fractures on this baby.
I believe that's what she said, yes.
Okay. And then what was the second fracture she said?
I think on the head.
On the head.
Was it on the back of the head?
So she testified that there was a 2-inch fracture with signs of healing on the head, on the right side of the head.
Oh my God, what did she do to this baby?
That happened, according to the professional, at a different time than the rib cage, correct?
Yes, I believe that's what she said.
And you just said you saw Jessica, if you're telling the truth, hit this baby 4 times.
Yes, but not to the extent to cause a fracture.
Okay. So then we see, good point. When is it, in your opinion, ever appropriate to hit a 2-month-old baby?
I didn't say it was appropriate.
But yet, you took this baby back into your home, correct?
Yes.
You promised to protect this baby, that you would be the father.
Yes.
And when this baby was hit 4 times in the head, and when this baby was shaken by your wife, did you call Children's Services?
No, I did not.
Did you call 911?
No, I did not.
Did you call Andrea Bowling?
No, I did not.
Did you go to a neighbor's house and say, hey, get my wife out of there?
No, I did not.
Did you stop the hand that was hurting that baby?
No, I did not.
You failed to act. Correct?
Correct.
And because you failed to act,
He did.
Dylan is dead today.
Those injuries would not have caused his death.
Oh my God.
Why did she have access to that baby?
Because she was his mother.
But she wasn't safe.
You were his father.
Yes, I was. Right.
You saw multiple occasions.
Supposed to
She
keep
was
it.
causing injury to this baby.
Just within a couple of days.
You did nothing.
No, I did not.
I don't think he realized that she would kill him, but I do think he knows that she was hurting this baby bad because she wanted drugs. She was taking it out on this baby, using the baby as a manipulated tool to get drugs from him.
So
That poor baby.
you were around to see Jessica perform physical acts to those two of those 4 areas that baby Dylan, your son, was injured.
Yes.
You didn't stop it.
I didn't stop it. I
You didn't
stopped
stop
it.
any of that, did you?
Yeah, I stopped it then, yes.
Okay, well then, if you stopped it, how did he get a 3rd fracture?
I have no idea.
No idea. So he gets another fracture on the head. Correct?
Yes.
And then all the bones in his arm were broken completely in 2.
Oh
That's
my
what this says, yes.
God.
I was unaware of that.
Oh
Unaware
my
of that.
God.
I was unaware of that. But this happened after the 2 you were aware of, correct?
They had to, yes.
They had to, exactly.
The
And then the broken
bone.
leg happened
Oh my God.
after that as well.
Correct.
And you want this jury to believe you thought the baby just died.
Yes. I thought he did just die. I had seen no
You
more. I
want
had seen
the
no more
jury to
outbursts from her.
believe that you're not responsible for this baby's death.
No, I'm not responsible.
For one thing, if the
Did I
baby
make
would have
mistakes?
just
Absolutely.
been dead, he wouldn't have got scared. Why would he have got scared? I mean, Sid death happens every day. He knew she killed that baby. He probably witnessed her killing that baby. She probably flew into a huge rage and took it out on him and killed that baby in front of him. Either that or he knows what that baby, he knows what she was doing to that baby.
Can I ask you a question? So, do you understand blunt force trauma?
Yes.
All right, tell me, what's blunt force trauma?
Getting struck by something very hard.
Do you understand the baby's bones aren't brittle, that they're rubbery? It can take a lot more than we think they can.
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
So, you deny seeing the blunt force trauma of such a nature that it broke the upper arm bones, the upper arm bone, the lower arm bones, and the leg of your baby boy.
Yes, I never saw nothing that
Where were
caused
you?
that.
Where were you?
I was in the home.
You were in the home?
I mean, I didn't stay with him 24/7. I mean,
Well, who did then? If you weren't there, who was there?
well, I mean, there was times when I would go into another room, of course.
You go in another room, did you hear your baby screaming in pain?
No, I did not.
Did you hear multiple thumps?
No, I did not.
You did tell about one thump you heard when she was back in the bedroom with you.
Yeah, I said
right?
I heard a thump, and she has told me that her purse or something fell off the bed.
Oh, so,
And he was laying there fine, so I would have no reason to think anything else was wrong.
all right, well, that's an occasion where she wasn't being supervised with the baby, was she?
It was. I went to the bathroom. Was I supposed to take the baby to the bathroom with me too?
Your wife's on drugs, correct?
And at the time, I did not think she was. No,
Oh.
she was going to treatment. I thought she was doing
She
better.
hadn't been to treatment since February 8th. Are you telling us where you didn't know that?
I did not. I
Or did you
didn't.
bury your head in the sand?
I did not know.
Did you all just testify? Did y'all just not hear him? They caught him in a lie right there. She admitted that she would get upset if he wouldn't buy her drugs, right? Did he not just admit that he would get upset if she didn't buy him drugs? He didn't buy her drugs. Now he's saying he didn't know that she was on drugs. So he basically lied right there. Did y'all just not get that? What he just said? Oh shit! He basically lied. Hang on, y'all. Yep, we just caught him in a lie. Oh shit! Where was I? Hang on, y'all. We were right through here somewhere.
Bones aren't brittle, that they're rubbery. It can take a lot more than we think they can.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
Is that yes?
Yes.
So we just caught
So-
him in a lie.
Deny seeing the blunt force trauma of such a nature that it broke the upper arm bones, the upper arm bone, the lower arm bones, and the leg of your baby boy.
Yes, I never saw nothing that
Where were
caused
you?
that.
Where were you?
I was in the home.
You were in the home?
I mean, I didn't stay with him 24/7. I mean,
Well, who did then? If you weren't there, who was there?
well, I mean, there was times when I would go into another room, of course.
You go in another room, did you hear your baby screaming in pain?
No, I did not.
Did you hear multiple thumps?
No, I did not.
You did tell about one thump you heard when she was back in the bedroom with you.
Yeah, I said
right?
I heard a thump, and she had told me that her purse or something fell off the bed.
Oh, so,
And he was laying there fine, so I would have no reason to think anything else was wrong.
all right, well, that's an occasion where she wasn't being supervised with the baby, was she?
It was, I went to the bathroom. Was I supposed to take the baby to the bathroom with me too?
Your wife's on drugs, correct?
And at the time, I did not think she was, no.
Oh.
She was going to treatment. I thought she was doing
She
better.
hasn't been to treatment since February 8th. Are you telling us where you didn't know that?
I did not, I
Or
knew,
did you bury your head in the sand?
I did not know that she had missed all these appointments. No, I did not.
So you didn't know she was back on drugs?
No, I did not.
You didn't know she had some violent tendencies, right?
I knew she had some, yes.
Yeah, she threatened you during the course of your marriage, didn't she?
Yeah, not violently.
So then you're asking me a question of whether you should have taken the baby to the bathroom or not with you. What do you think?
No, I don't think I should have, no. I mean, the baby was laying there sleeping.
I
why would
wouldn't
take
leave
him to the
that
bathroom?
baby a second with that woman.
So do you think that all these injuries, from your knowledge of being a father, you have an older son who's 14, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever get hurt growing up?
Yes, minor injuries
Minor injuries from what?
from just being a boy and playing
Being a boy,
outside.
Falling?
Mhm.
Jumping down trees? Yes.
He never had no injuries falling out of a tree, no, but
Wrecked a bicycle? What kind of injuries did he get?
I just common injuries from a boy, got fingers smashed, stuff like that. He never really had no major injuries.
So from your experience, your common experience as a father of a 14-year-old son, do you honestly want this jury to believe that there was a drop of the baby that caused all these injuries?
Do I believe that a drop of the injury caused these babies? I'm not aware of what caused these injuries. So
Not
I can't
aware.
think.
But you would acknowledge something horribly violent happened to your son to break all those bones.
Obviously,
Where were you when this happened?
I had to be around the home.
Where were you when your son was dying?
Excuse me?
Where were you when your son was dying?
I had to be in the home or outside the home.
And at that point, do you recall another promise you made to Children's Services about choosing your children over your wife? You recall that?
Yes, I do.
You broke that promise, didn't you?
I do not feel I broke that promise, no.
You very much did.
You do admit that you helped wrap your son for concealment in a cocoon. You admit that?
Yes, I do admit that.
And dropped him down a deep, dark, water-filled well.
Yes, I admitted that. I admitted that from the beginning.
You knew where that well was.
Yes,
Because you hunted there and you lost some of your dogs there.
yes.
That broke you up losing dogs, didn't it?
That's been years ago. I mean, when you have hunting dogs, you lose them all the time. No, it never really broke me up.
So at that point, your child is dead. Did you notice any swelling of the legs or arms or anything in that regard?
No, I did not.
Now, you guys changed that child, baby Dylan, your newborn son, before you put him in the well, didn't you?
Excuse me, what was the question?
You changed him out of clothes or put him in different clothes before you put him in the well.
No, I did not.
Well, there's a laceration on his arm. There's not one on the clothing he had on. How do you explain that then?
I don't know, but we did not change him. He was in the same, he got put in there, the very same thing he had on when he died. The only thing different was he had a blanket wrapped around him.
How do you know that if you didn't?
So you were near there when he died. You know the same clothing, weren't you?
Yes.
You didn't do anything to stop it when he died, did you?
How was I going to stop something that had already happened?
Why even bother? Why even try? Is that your testimony?
No, not why would I try. I'm saying, how would I do anything after he's deceased?
Heaven forbid he have a proper burial.
I admitted to that.
But let's see, what did you tell Children's Services throughout this time? Your wife shaking your baby and hitting her heads. What were you telling them? Well, let's see, what were you doing? Were you missing juvenile court?
I missed an appointment, yes.
So that's a yes?
Yes.
Were you telling Children's Services that your baby boy was growing like a weed?
Yes, I did. He was.
You didn't tell him he was getting shaken by his mom and struck in the head multiple times, did you?
No, I did not. It only happened one time.
Oh, okay, so the time where she's shaking him like this and hitting him in the head was only one occasion?
It was within 2 days, yes.
Within 2 days? That's
I'm
more than
not
one,
sure.
isn't it?
I'm not sure on the time frame, no.
Not sure on the time frame. So this time frame of healing fractures and Daniel Jr.'s testimony that the baby had bruising for 3 days to a week, those are all bunk. Is that what you're saying?
I never saw any swelling or bruising like that, just from on the forehead is all I ever saw.
You never saw any of that. Your 14-year-old son, your 14-year-old sons pay attention to a lot of stuff?
Yeah, they pay attention to a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, your son is a good boy.
Yes, he is.
He's a smart kid.
Yes, he is.
But he noticed this, right?
He says he did, yes.
And you didn't notice this?
No, I did not.
Or did you choose to ignore it?
I did not ignore it. I did not notice it.
You're lying. You're lying.
And you told Children's Services everything was okay, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And it wasn't, was it?
Obviously not.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
The jury's heard enough, Your Honor. No further questions.
Mr. Freeman, Ms. Scott, any redirect?
I want that woman to get a hold of him. I want that prosecuting woman to get him. She's way more Me. Oh, now his little wimpy lawyer.
You heard Daniel testify here yesterday, correct?
Yes.
You heard Daniel when I was asking him questions about dates and when things happened. Do you recall hearing that?
Yes.
Okay. Did you recall hearing him or give testimony that he wasn't remembering exact dates?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Although he is a very smart child, very bright child.
Yes.
Recalling dates, is that easy to do on any given occasion, especially after you've gone through a traumatic event such as this?
Yes, it is.
It is easy to do or easy to lose track of dates?
It is easy to lose track of dates.
Okay. Do you believe that Daniel was trying to testify honestly?
I believe he was trying to, yes.
Okay.
Objection, Your Honor, that's an improper question. The answer is that the jury determined credibility was.
Is it your testimony that Daniel was not recalling the proper dates in regards to him providing urine for you for your friend?
Yes, I do think he was mistaken on those dates.
You were asked about violating your promise in regards to children's services, in regards to Jessica staying at the home overnight when she was not supposed to be there. Do you recall giving that testimony?
Yes.
Okay. What did you tell Patricia Kraft about that incident or incidents?
About her staying in the home?
Yes.
I told Patricia that I allowed her to stay there a couple of nights because it was very cold and that she didn't have nowhere to go, and I was concerned about her staying out in the cold, which she had told me she had done a couple of times.
That was reported.
Yes. I reported it to Patricia Kraft. Whether she reported it or not, I don't know. She didn't report a lot, I said.
Let's talk about the crying and the hitting that you described to Detective Conkle. Could you please explain to the court what you were trying to say in regards to, you were trying to give an answer in regards to making mistakes and whether or not you had stopped that behavior or what you had done about that behavior or what you thought about that behavior. Could you please tell the court what you were trying to answer in regards to that?
Hey, Rain Girl.
I told him that about me making mistakes.
Making mistakes, stopping Jessica's behavior, keeping her away from the baby, what, it was around that line of questioning in regards to, did you believe that she was injuring the baby?
No, I did not believe that she was doing nothing to injure the baby, no. And I talked with her and told her,
He's
you know,
seen
had
her
conversations with
smack
her,
the
and
baby.
she apologized and agreed that she would do better, and I never saw no more outbursts in her because she was going through treatment. I thought she was doing good.
He's lying. He's lying.
Were you aware of any injuries that the baby had sustained as a result of Jessica hitting or striking the baby?
No, I checked him out. There was not even a red mark.
Did you form an opinion about Dylan's injuries or suspicion of injuries after you checked him out?
Yes, I come to the conclusion he was fine.
You were asked about whether or not Dylan was wearing the same item of clothing as when he passed away, as to when he had the blanket wrapped around him and wrapped in plastic. Are you sure about that?
To my knowledge, he was not changed at all.
And let's talk about what you were telling Children's Services after baby Dylan passed away. Were you being honest with them?
No, I was not.
Why were you not being honest with them?
Because I was afraid that I would get the blame for it completely.
What was Jessica saying at that point in regards to Children's Services and reporting to Children's Services and coming to court and missing court dates? What was she saying you should do?
About reporting.
About going to Children's Services, reporting Dylan's death to Children's Services, showing up for court appearances, how to explain where Dylan was?
After his death?
Yes.
She was just threatening me about blaming it on me, and she was just saying that she would not going to go to any more appointments after that.
What about court appearances?
She didn't want to go to any court appearances after that.
What about meeting with Patricia Kraft?
She did not want to meet with Patricia Kraft.
You were asked about whether or not you thought the baby just died. What is your opinion about that?
What was my opinion about him? I thought he just died.
Yes.
I thought that he had just died from something. I had no clue that he had sustained any injuries to cause his death. There was nothing to make me believe that. Nothing at all.
How did his scalp or head appear when you found that Dylan had passed away?
It was completely fine. There was no bruising or swelling on it at all.
The picture and the photograph that we were shown, taken as part of his autopsy, is that how Dylan's scalp appeared when you first discovered that he had passed away?
No.
The chest, did you unzip his zipper on his sleeper?
When he passed away?
Yes.
Yeah, I unzipped him and looked him over.
I'm sorry.
I unzipped the front of his sleeper and looked him over in his chest and stuff like that, yes.
Did you see any of that purple or red mark
No,
on his chest?
no, I did not.
Did you observe anything?
The other
Or
boys
did you form an
14.
opinion in regards to how Big Dylan had passed away after you discovered that he had passed?
The only thing that I could come to the conclusion of was Sid's.
Objection, Your Honor, is to the opinion that layperson was not involved.
You can testify as what his belief was at the time.
But if that was the case, why then did you not call the police? Because Sid's would have been a perfectly accountable explanation.
Because of being involved with CPS and for my wife threatening to blame me.
Did you then, at that point in time, did you form a different opinion about how he may have passed away?
No, I didn't.
Did you form an opinion once she started threatening you to blame you for his death, that maybe she caused his death?
No, I did not.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna move on from this, and let's see. I think they actually,
Mr. Stratton, any recross?
let's see. I think they actually do a verdict.
Since Exhibit A was offered, marked only for purposes of identification, has not.
Okay, so I think they both were found guilty. So we'll watch the sentencing now. I think they both were found guilty. So this is the sentencing. Of course, she's putting on another show. So here we go. This is the sentencing.
So very sorry. No matter what you do to me, you can never do what I will do with myself. What I have to live with for the rest of my life, knowing that I did this to my child. I failed as a mother. I'm sorry.
Anything else you'd like to say? You can be seated.
He's getting ready to give them what's coming to him. The calm before the storm. She should have said, "I'm sorry, baby Dylan." I'm sorry. That's the foster mom. That's the foster mom there that took care of baby Dylan. Maybe another time we'll show her testimony where she talks about taking care of him. I think she was actually the one, or someone related to her was the one who sent the letter to Jinkies, and we'll play that letter here in just a minute. And the beads in baby Dylan's case. Let's fast forward it because we can't watch that dramatics. See what the sentences is.
Sentencing hearing is being held pursuant to revised code section 2929.19. Now, Mr. Groves, certainly you will have a right to appeal any sentence I give you in this matter. Do you have funds to hire a lawyer to represent you on this, any appeal that you choose to pursue? Ms. Scott, are you willing to accept the appointment for the purposes of that appeal?
Your Honor, if I do accept that appointment for appeal, that does cause my client to waive certain arguments that he may have. Could I refrain from answering that question at this time until after consultation with my client off the record?
I will need
So
you.
he would be fully advised of that?
I will need you to advise the court staff no later than Monday morning.
I can do
He
that,
gives
Your
it to
Honor.
him here, guys.
Sir, I will need you to fill out another financial disclosure form so I can appoint counsel to represent you. Now, Ms. Jessica Groves, likewise, you have the right to appeal any of the decisions I've made in this case and any sentence that I would give you in this matter. Do you have the funds to hire a lawyer to represent you in that appeal?
No, sir, I don't.
Mr. Stratton, would you be willing to accept the appointment for purposes of pursuing that appeal?
Your Honor, it's always been my policy to not work on the appeals of my trials, so I ask that you appoint other counsel for that matter.
Thank you, Mr. Stratton. I would ask, I would appoint counsel to represent Ms. Groves following sentencing. Ms. Scott, Mr. Stratton, I would ask that both of you consult with your clients and file any appropriate notice of
He
appeal.
was probably about 2 months old, Dane,
Case, and I will appoint counsel to pursue.
because he was born
pursue that
January
appeal.
and he died March 28th.
Defendants in this matter have been afforded all rights pursuant to Criminal Rule 32. This court has considered the record, the oral statements made, the victim impact statement presented in this matter, as well as the purposes of sentencing as found in Revised Code Section 29.11a, to punish the offender, protect the public from future crime by the offender or others, and using the minimum sanctions this court determines accomplishes those purposes without imposing unnecessary burden on state and local government resources. This court has also considered the allocution of both defendants of Ms. Groves as she's provided it here in court today. The court has also considered the principles of sentencing as found in Section 29.11a, b, and c, specifically the need for incapacitation, deterrence, rehabilitation, and restitution, as well as being commensurate with and not demeaning to the seriousness of the offender's conduct, its impact on the victim, and the consistency of sentences for similar crimes by similar offenders. This court has considered and balanced those serious and recidivism factors as found in Section 29.12, b, c, d, and e, and also considered those factors as found in the Revised Code Section 29.13b.
Well, get to it. It was 2 months old.
The court is also going to find that consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public and to from future crime, to punish each offender and not disproportionate to the seriousness of the offender's conduct and to the danger the offender poses to the public. The court will further find that one or more of the multiple offenses was committed as part of one or more courses of conduct, and the harm caused by two or more of the multiple offenses so committed was so great or unusual that no single prison term for any of the offenses committed as part of the course of conduct adequately reflects the seriousness of the offender's conduct. This court will further find as to the defendant, Daniel Groves, pursuant to Revised Code Section 29.12b. Specifically, this court is going to find that the injury was exacerbated by the victim's physical condition or age. Also going to find that the victim suffered serious physical harm as a result of the crimes. This court's further going to find that Mr. Groves' relationship with the victim facilitated this offense. And I'm also going to find that he was the parent, custodian, or person in place of the parent or custodian at the time the offense was committed. I'm also going to find that the defendant in this matter, Daniel Groves, does have a criminal history, although that criminal history consists of only a misdemeanor conviction. And I will find that there's been no proof or evidence brought forward of any felony convictions. I will further find that the offender shows a pattern of alcohol and drug use related to this offense and does not acknowledge or refuses treatment. I'm also going to find that he's shown no genuine remorse. As to the defendant, Jessica Groves, as to those factors in 29.12, I will likewise find that the injury was exacerbated by the victim's physical condition and age. The victim suffered serious physical harm as a result of the crime, that the offender's relationship with the victim facilitated the offense, and that this is an offense where she committed this crime on her child as the parent, custodian, or person in loco parentis. Going to further find that she has shown a pattern of alcohol or drug use related to this offense and does not acknowledge or has refused treatment. I'm also going to find, despite her allocution here today, that through these proceedings she's shown no genuine remorse. I will find that she has no prior criminal convictions. Defendant Daniel Groves, will you please stand?
Oh, she's getting ready to give it to him.
Sir, as to count 2 of the indictment, you have been found guilty of the charge of murder I will sentence you to the prescribed term of imprisonment for that offense of 15 years to life in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 3 of the indictment, you are convicted of a charge of kidnapping, a felony of the first degree. You have been found guilty by the jury. I am going to sentence you to a term of imprisonment of 10 years in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 4 of the indictment, charged child endangering, a felony of the third degree, I will sentence you to a 36-month term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 5 of the indictment, charged tampering with evidence, a felony of the third degree, I'm going to sentence you to a 36-month term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 7 of the indictment, charged gross abuse of corpse, a felony of the fifth degree, I'm going to sentence you to a 12-month term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 8 of the indictment, you are convicted of charged felonious assault, a felony of the second degree. I'm going to sentence you to an 8-year term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. And as to count 9 of the indictment, I am going to sentence you to an 8-year term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. I am going to order the sentence in count 5, tampering with evidence, and count 7 to run concurrently with each other. It would be my intention, by imposing this sentence, to impose a term of 47 years to life in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. And we'll give you credit for the 213 days you've served in the county jail while awaiting trial. You can be seated.
47 years to life.
Minute Jessica Groves, will you please stand? Ma'am, you stand convicted of the charge of aggravated murder. Will be the sentence of this court that you be sentenced to a term of imprisonment of life without the possibility of parole. As to count 1 of the indictment. As to count 3 of the indictment, charged kidnapping, a felony of the first degree, I will sentence you to a 10-year term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 4 of the indictment, I am going to sentence you to a 36-month term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 5 of the indictment, charged tampering with evidence, I'm going to sentence you to a 36-month term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 7 of the indictment, charged gross abuse of corpse, I'm going to sentence you to a 12-month term in the custody of the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 8 of the indictment, I will sentence you to an 8-year term in the custody of the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 9 of the indictment, also charged felonious assault, I will sentence you to an 8-year term in the custody of Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. As to count 5 and count 7, I will order those sentences to run concurrently with each other. But pursuant to my earlier findings, I will order the remaining charges to run consecutive to each other. Would be my intention to impose a sentence of life without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 32 years as part of this sentence.
Wow. She'll never get out of jail, ever.
I will also give you credit for the 213 days that you've served in the county jail while awaiting trial on this matter. I am going to order that both of you pay the cost of prosecution in this matter. I am going to order, at least as certainly to Mr. Groves, to a portion of his sentence, possibly to Mrs. Groves as part of her sentence. You may be able to earn days of credit towards this sentence pursuant to revised code section 2967.193. However, those days of credit are not automatic and do have to be earned pursuant to the statute. I'm going to order you to both pay the cost of prosecution in this matter. I am going to order the sheriff's office to destroy any contraband seized in this matter once all appeals and post-conviction proceedings are complete. Anything further, Mr. Tiemann?
Wow.
They are, thank you.
Ms. Scott, anything further?
Not at this time, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Stratton?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Justice for baby Dylan. Justice for baby Dylan. He just got justice. Thank God. On June 11th, the couple reportedly arrested on charges of abduction, kidnapping, interference of custody. That day, Daniel led authorities to baby Dylan's body after barricading himself inside. Yep. For 6 hours in the house while police were outside. And that's baby Dylan's story. Now I'm going to take y'all back to Jinky's channel and let you read the note if she still got it up of somebody in that family sent her beads in his name. She'll have to tell it on here. But I was familiar with this story, so hang on. I'll bring it up. The story of baby Dylan. Hang on. She's supposed to send me this letter. This is where she's showing. Maybe it was after Chibby left. Because I know he was on there, and then I don't know if she showed it while he was up there or not. Maybe it was after he went down. I don't remember. Let me see. Trying to find it. I told her, I was like, that's a big story. Does anybody know where that was at? What part of that was where Jinky showed that letter and those beads on baby Dylan? She rang the poem. It was early on. Hang on, let me see. But hang on. Let me bring it up. It was somewhere in this live stream that she
on Sunday. He passed yesterday, and I'm just so scared of.
Hang on. I'm trying to find it where she wrote the poem. She read the poem that the people sent of baby Dylan. Hang on. I don't know if it was early on. Maybe it was before she was showing all this stuff. She showed that of Michael Vaughn and Summer. But it was beads. Hang on. That's it right there. Right here it is. Hang on. What's she doing?
Her face.
What the world? She lost her mind.
Are you for real?
Hang on.
I don't like that. But
she got a letter.
A single mom?
Referring to baby Dylan. Do y'all know that? She got a letter from baby Dylan. Somebody related.
Everybody's allowed to have their opinions, but
she said she's supposed to be. Here it is. Hopefully she'll read it.
I know.
Read it, Big Mama. Read it.
The BC. And look, y'all. Oh my gee, these are so cute.
Hang on. Where is it? Does anybody know what part of that live that she wrote that letter? Here it is. Baby Dylan.
That was all Chillbilly, TT.
Here.
So she hides in the bushes. When I heard of your tree project and told my 398 art students,
it's a teacher
wanted to contribute.
A baby Dylan.
In memory of one of our own. For those of you that have never heard of Dylan Groves, let me give you the short version. Justin for All has referenced this case. So Justin actually has covered this case probably several times. Dylan was born in January of 2019 with drugs in his system, which resulted in custody given to one of our teachers here in our school. Dylan's foster mother took a leave of absence to cuddle and care for this baby that she grew to love very much. After a short while, Dylan was given back to his biological father, providing the mother not live in the same house. Of course, his sweet foster mother was concerned and heartbroken, but still offered to help or watch the child at any time if needed. It was only a few days until it was determined the baby was missing. In March of 2019, baby Dylan's lifeless body was found in a well close to home. He had been murdered at the hands of his biological parents, who are now serving life sentences in prison. Although baby Dylan is no longer with us, my students and I decided to send these bead chains for the tree, one bead for each student in our school, as the way to keep baby Dylan's memory alive. Thank you so much for letting us contribute. Fairy Godmother and her middle school art students. And these are some of the beads right here, guys. They're very beautiful beads. I'll get them out in a minute and let y'all look at them. They're very beautiful. And they'll go on the tree, just gorgeous. But yes, there you go. And let me tell you all, when I got that letter, today with them beads, I could not hold it in. Could not hold it in. It totally and thoroughly. It totally and thoroughly broke my heart in two that to hear that.
And this is probably the age that he was unalived.
Is that wrong?
This is probably the age he was unalived at. He was 2 months old, full of life. Why didn't they just leave him with his foster parent? Why didn't they just leave him with his foster mom? I don't get it. Why do they want these babies if they're not able to take care of them? If they would have left him with the foster parents, he would have grown and learned to break the cycle of the drug addiction. But because of their selfish selves, they took the baby in knowing that there was a drug addiction problem and there was anger issues. Does anyone else feel the same? Some of these children abuse seemed to happen when COVID started. A lot of them believe. I wonder if his bones were broken in that picture. I don't know, but they said two of them. I think that they say both of his arms were broke. She would have had to pick that baby up and throw him. And more than likely, she did it to spite the husband to get him to buy the drugs for her. Oh, he's with God now. No doubt about that. That is crazy decision. The judge ordered away anyway. The two lived together there at their house without Jessica. Yeah, I had the same situation happen with me when my grandson was born. We were unaware that my husband was sick in the hospital. They thought he had lung cancer, so we had to go to the hospital there in Lexington, Kentucky, to have a biopsy done when our bubby was born. So he was born addicted to drugs. We had no idea. They sent him to Johnson City Medical Center, where he was released under the care of my stepdaughter's grandmother, his great grandmother. They gave him to his great grandmother instead of my husband. And so we didn't know, but she was unable to take care of him. So she sent him with my stepdaughter to give to us when he was a month old. Well, she had a little another little boy that had leukemia and was sick that the grandma was taking care of. The grandma was told not to leave the kids alone with my stepdaughter and her mother, and she let them go. The sick little boy always had to go to Lexington, Kentucky to go to treatments. That's where he got his cancer treatments, and whenever he got sick and had to be put in the hospital, that's where he was sent to. And so for 2 weeks straight, she let his mom stay up there without her and his grandmother, not the great grandmother, but the great grandma was not supposed to leave him there alone. And when they went in to find the mother and the grandmother was passed out in his bathroom. So social workers came in and took him from the great grandmother and placed him in our home because she left him alone for 2 weeks in that hospital with that mother and grandmother. The great grandmother did. Thank you, Dame. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. They were both drug addicts. Sadly, a baby died and another child will take a lifetime to heal. Too many casualties in the U.S. for drug addiction. I agree with you 100% on that, Dame. Absolutely, positively, no doubt about it. I feel like when my stepdaughter got better and they gave the babies back to her after 4 months, she got a job for 4 months. 4 months, that's it. 4 months. They gave them back to me, or gave them back, took them from us and gave them back to her because she was allegedly better. And we had to actually get an attorney after that and get custody back, which they helped us get custody back of my grandson. And at that time, the other one was in the process of his cancer had came back. And his grandmother, the great grandmother, was actually took him to Ohio and Cincinnati to the hospital there. And so social workers couldn't touch him there. My stepdaughter told me this after he passed away, to keep from losing him, because they opened up another case that I was unaware of, and they were getting ready to take him because they had already got her for neglect anyway. She ran to Ohio, the state of Ohio, where the social workers here couldn't touch her until he passed away in the children's hospital at Cincinnati's, because he got a very strong chemo. His cancer had came back with a vengeance for the third time, and he had got a very, very, very dangerous chemotherapy, and it caused a massive brain bleed on him, and we lost him because of that. But I genuinely do think that the back and forth thing with him took an emotional toll on him, and that's why your mental health is a big part of your health, and when you are mentally strained, it's not going to help. So I truly believe that back and forth, him being took back and forth, didn't help the fact that he was sick, and it made it worse. And then, her being on drugs on top of that, and then fighting over drugs in front of him, and all this other stuff, all that did not help. So, yeah. It's sad what drug abuse does to kids, The night he was passing away, we went to Cincinnati's Children's, and they were literally arguing. The grandmother had been over at the University of Cincinnati all day in the ER trying to get her fix. And then she proceeded in trying to take off out the door with a laptop that they had loaned him to play with. They loaned the kids out laptops there, and she was trying to steal one and take it out the door, and the great grandma was chasing her around trying to get her to put it back. It was a hot mess. I made my husband get me out of there. We stayed all night down there, and the next morning he passed away. It was a mess. But yes, drug addiction's very real. Very, very real, and affects so many, so many. And unfortunately, my husband's grandson that passed away, not only was his mother on the substance, but the father was too. So I don't know if that had anything to do with him getting leukemia. I don't know what they were doing when she got pregnant. All I know is he was diagnosed at 2 years old with it. He woke up with bruises all over him and a limp knot on his neck the size of a golf ball. And we rushed him to the University of Kentucky. We all went, where he underwent a bone marrow aspiration, and they told us that he had acute lymphopatic leukemia and that there was an 85% chance of survival with that. But only if you live in a great environment and you have a positive environment. A child trying to grow up in a chaotic environment and try to fight cancer, no, not possible. You need to get different show, Daisy. You're boring now. Okay. Okay, I'm boring. Whatever. But it was sad. It was sad. Angie said when I stayed at a high risky place in Richmond, they were so many that came to have babies, and half left them with family or CPS. I knew 2 girls who had a lot of kids that would still get pregnant. Yeah, they'll still get pregnant, one right after another. Oh yeah, 11, 12, gravida. See, a gravida is how many times you've been pregnant. 11 and 12, yeah. Seeing parents like this makes me sick. They can testify in front of their abuse. I have parents like that too. Yeah. Well, if you work in healthcare, you're going to see it. I've had parents get mad at me because I've Narcaned their children before. They're grown adult children, of course, but yeah, literally. It happens, you guys. Parents don't realize by feeding their drugs to their children or providing them because they are having withdrawals, they think they're helping them, but they're hurting them. Miss Daisy, that must be a troll who said that. Probably. I met a family in Nevada that were 3rd generation drug addicts and on the system. Yeah. Yeah, they don't care. They keep having babies. They get pregnant because, and it's like Amanda, I love her to death, but she could have got pregnant again. She had 4 babies, and if she would have lived, there's no doubt in my mind she wouldn't have had another one. No doubt in my mind that she wouldn't have had another one. Because she was perfectly capable, and she refused, because they always get that hope that they're going to get better and that they're going to be able to take care of that baby, when in all reality they're not. Luckily, my stepdaughter stopped at 3. She had another child after my grandson, and it was a little girl, and she got her tubes tied. Now she's doing better now, and I'm proud of her. But we went through a little bit of a hard time with her, you guys. We did. A lot of hard times. Me and her still aren't on the best of terms, but I hope that she knows that I still love her and care about her. And I do pray for her and her son to have a good relationship. Daisy, there's a post made about you. Will this be addressed? What kind of post? If it's an ugly old person's a post, I don't care. Let them make post. What's new? I mean, what's new? These devils are going to find any reason to make a post or make memes. My son and his girlfriend she did drugs when she was pregnant, and he was right there with her doing the drugs, so he was at fault. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you all. It gets so much more worse than that. A majority of these kids, I'm not saying all of them, but a large number of children who are sick with cancer, leukemias, you name it, not all of them, but there is a significant amount that's parents are on the substance. Because my stepdaughter met a lot of friends at the University of Kentucky, and they weren't good friends either. She learned the tricks of the trade there at UK, and ultimately led to her being thrown out of the facility and banned from the whole facility. So, yeah, it's not good at all. God brings angels to our lives. The baby comes to save his siblings. Perhaps the surviving siblings will end the abuse. I know my grandson will, because that boy is just like me in every way possible. He's like me. And so I just know that he won't get on substance. He's a God-fearing boy who's been prayed over. They are guilty, Dame. I agree. Both parents are absolutely guilty. No doubt. In this baby's case, and in the other cases where children are involved and they end up getting hurt due to substance abuse. This is what I took just by watching the trial of this, is that the mother would fly into rages and use that baby as a weapon against that father to get him to buy her substances. And I think that she severely abused that baby in front of the father, and he knew it. That's why he would take the baby out with him. And I think she went too far, just like with Harmony Montgomery's case. And I think she violently unalived this baby. The baby had a head injury before he died. The brother testified to the severe head injury. You know, it was also said, I didn't get into that part. The father said the baby died after social services left. But I think somewhere in that trial, it specifies that the baby could have already been deceased when. Are you and your brother twins? No, why? Why, Gail? Specified that he could have been deceased because he was allegedly sleeping in her arms when social workers came that day. So it's on telling. Okay, what post is being made about me, guys? Everybody's having a conniption. Who's made a post about me? Christine made something about remains being found. Hang on, y'all. Let me get back in my account. Somebody saying that people's making posts about me. And I don't know who it is. I don't know. Let's see. I probably won't see it unless they've tagged me in it. If they've tagged me in it, I'll see it. But until then, I'm not seeing a post. My day was 27 before she ever did drugs. When our oldest daughter passed, it led her to drugs to deal with her grief. She has been clean for 2 years. I pray she sticks in time. Yeah, if she's been better for 2 years, then she probably, hang on. I'm not seeing any tags about me. What were you talking about? Innocent posts being made about me. Your sister said you two look alike. Oh, me and my brother Jeff? Yeah. Sorry guys, don't mean to blow my nose here. She was postpartum and drug addicted. She was not able to regulate her emotions. I doubt he could care. Obviously. Exactly. A lot of people on drugs can do such horrible things to their kids that one may not even believe. You just never really know. Makes me send prayers for all these missing babies in SummerWells. Exactly. You're right. Bye. Somebody just sent me something. Oh my God. Hang on. Hang on, you guys. Hang on. Thank you all. Thank you for sending that. That person, he was dangerous to that baby, and she was. I agree. Did I already read this? A lot of people on drugs can do such horrible things to their kids that one may not believe or just never really know. Makes me send prayers for all these missing babies in SummerWells. Exactly. Yeah, and that's what can happen, you guys. Oh, toast. Listen, toaster oven is ridiculous. That's what she is. She came in here and said for me not to be posting pictures of that event. Well, I made the picture that I did the thumbnail with was actually off Candace's live when Candace was there. And so that's Candace's live. That has nothing to do with her. She's acting erotic, in my opinion, like crazy acting. And so it's not about her. It's about supposedly supposed to be about the awareness of these children. So why is she making it about her? The only thing I did was bring up what was supposed to be brought up in the first place, and that was the flag, that the banner that Christine made that was never mentioned in Jinky's little thing last night. The banner and the stand that Christine made for SummerWells. So if Toaster don't like it, she can get over it. I don't really care what she says. She's just mad. And I had to tell Auntie Sherry to stop texting me because Auntie Sherry has been sending me harassing a text. And I have her blocked since she found her email way. And I told her today if she didn't stop texting me that I was going to get her for harassment because I don't bother her and I just like want her to stay away from me and leave me alone. So Toaster Oven, get over it. I'll use Candace's stuff if I want to. You can get over it. Candace wanted this. Christine was told to keep this banner because my sister got mad at Christine or at me. She took it out on Christine. And so she was told to keep this banner. And Candace said, no, I'm taking that banner and I'm putting it up. tell her to send me the banner. And so that's what we did. We sent it, or Christine, not we. Christine took her own money. And we know these banners are not cheap by all means. And so because I put pictures from the live stream that Candace posted, I just took a snap of all the pictures. Toaster come in here showing herself and I had to block her. She's acting erotic and crazy in my opinion. Toaster oven. She'll be fine. She'll get over it. I really don't care what she says. You know, I don't know what her deal is, but she needs to stop. I can post anything. Candace does not care for me to use her videos. If she does, she would have told me. And that was taken from Candace's video. So Miss Chewy and Toaster Oven can stop. Both of them. Because they're acting like children, in my opinion. I've been very nice and kind to Toaster. Very nice and kind to Toaster Oven. Things are settling. People are trying to heal. Don't worry about it. I know. She came in here today and I blocked her right off from the bat. I'm not upset. It's childish. I don't really care what she says, to be honest with you. She can get mad and get glad, whatever, get over it. But Candace is my friend, and she wanted this banner, and she said that it's going up on the Christmas tree event, and she's going to continue to use this banner. And I think Christine needs to get credit for buying this because she spent a lot of money on this, and she also ordered a stand to go with it that's going to hold this big old banner. So I'm giving credit where credit's due. Everybody that bought things for that event needs to get a credit, not just one. And according to my sister, why did she have to go buy such a big banner? Why did she buy such a big banner? Because she wanted to buy a big banner. That's why. What does that have anything to do with it? It has nothing to do with it. Pretty much just telling Christine that she wasn't going to be a part of that event. That's how Christine took it. She didn't come out and say it in so many words, but, you know, it is what it is. So Candace said, I want it. I'm going to take it and put it up. I want to use it. So Christine sent it to her and gave it to her. And now Dawn and Candace not only have a banner of their child, but they have a stand to display it whenever they need it. So Toaster Oven, get over it. You don't own this case. I don't understand why people wants to be so are so just obsessed with thinking they own the case. I mean, I don't get it. I saw a horrific child's death when working on the Oregon procurements team for the Oregon donations. Child's head resulted in, I'll never forget their faces or circumstances. Oh no, I am sorry, Dave. That's something I wouldn't want to see. See what someone did? Came in saying you're boring now. Brought something up, ruined the mood. It's okay. No, Toaster came in from the beginning anyway and said something. I saw the comment that you deleted, Miss Daisy. That was said in your chat. It was mean. Yeah. Yeah, she acts like she owns that. No, she don't. She don't own Summer's case. The banner was for her baby. What person has more rights than Candace? Exactly, just like to tell her to keep her banner. No, it's in the right hands, the mother and the father of this baby. And if anybody gets mad about it, they can get over it and leave Christine alone. She took her hard earned money, her own money, and bought this that she works every day at a job for. We were having a great life. See what here she said, starts a mess. Let's allow Daisy on the evening of peace. No, honestly, always late. She did come in here. Toaster Oven did come in here and say that at the beginning of the live stream. And I know where all this is coming from. I can't say where it's coming from, but I know why I'm getting attacked by Nana's Angels and Toaster Oven. Like I was in the Jerks live stream the other day, and Nana just kept trying to pick at me. And I know why they're doing that. But Candace is our friend, Donna's our friend. And anybody out here on God's green earth can talk about this baby. There's not one person that owns the rights to this baby other than the parents. Controls and a-holes leave bad comments behind. This is serious and most emotionally triggering live. We need to support our vulnerable viewers in our community. Thank you. Dale said, I don't think you're boring, Daisy. I enjoy this live. Thank you, Dale. Thank you. Well, you just covered Dylan's case very well. Just saying. Thank you. Well, I think it's a very interesting case, and I hope my sister watched it because no, not Nana's Angels. Did I say Nana's Angels? I meant Nana for Life, not Nana's Angels. Now, I do want to say Nana's for Life does do a lot in Summer's case. Nana's for Life has done these events, and she does a lot for Summer's case. She puts on a lot of beautiful events for Summer and everything. I'm not saying anything against Nana. I'm just saying Nana doesn't like me for reasons I don't know. I have a feeling I know why she don't like me, but if she doesn't like me, then that's okay. But I'm still friends with Dawn and Candace. And I'm still going to talk about Summer's case, whether people like it or not. Did I say it? I didn't mean Nana's Angels. I meant Nana for Life. Yeah, he's sitting in Andy H's. Nobody pays attention to him. I know, but tell him what this one said, that one said, just keeps the drama going. That's true always, because I don't watch these people. And even when they tag me in their BS, I don't watch it because it's stupid. So when I get off this line, I'll probably go to bed. That's about how much I care about what they say. Especially Toaster Oven. I mean, really? I don't have no reasons to care what she says. I know. And I'll listen. I don't care. I will use Candace's live if I want to. Whether Toaster gets mad, gets glad, and gets over it. No, not Nana's Angels. Nana for Life was in the Jerks saying rude stuff and trying to stir the pot, in my opinion, in the Jerks. She's part of the Jerks, I think. So I don't know, but I told her that she was lying and then quit lying. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm still stuffy nosed and everything. I was up last night pretty late. Last night I was up. I couldn't sleep. I think I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. We might do that a little bit later, Angela. But I'm just saying if I want to share something about Summer, Moon, Utah Wells, I'm going to. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due, where Miss Christine and what she does for this baby and what the research she does, and for sending Dawn and Candace this. She should have been mentioned last night. This should have been shown, but nobody else has shown it. And that just not right. In my opinion, it's absolutely not right. I do have the phone lines open if anybody wants to call in. I've got the number open. I think we did do a good coverage of Dylan's case. If anybody wants to call in, I have the phone lines open. Yeah. I'm gonna take an ibuprofen PM after I get off here in a little while. I want to know what everyone's favorite side of turkey. Y'all, I'm going to dress up my turkeys and put it behind. I'm going to make a picture behind this of my turkeys because I got 2 big white turkeys and then I got Larry and Moe, the brown ones. But one of them I've been considering putting in the fridge. He's a male white broad-breasted one. I don't think I have the C word because I can smell that bacon when it was being cooked. Mine's mostly just an upper respiratory infection. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hang on. It better be respectful. Somebody's calling in. Hang on. Hang on. Uh-oh.
To accept, press 1.
Okay. Hello, you're live with Daisy.
Hey, Miss Daisy, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. Miss Daisy, this is Louisiana Proud. I just want to tell you I'm so sorry about the misunderstanding the other night.
Oh, what
I'm
about?
not that flip-flop. Well, remember you said that I was some kind of flip-flop person and that I was a troll.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to call and just let you know that I'm really not a troll, Miss Daisy. I am one of your supporters.
Were you under a different?
Your channel very, very much.
Was you under a different name before Louisiana Proud?
I think before it was like Louisiana Proud Yaya, and I just took the Yaya off.
That might be why. Well, I am
Yes, ma'am.
sorry. Are you blocked still, or?
Yes, ma'am. I am, and I wish you would. Will you please unblock me?
I will. I am so sorry. You know, I've been going through a lot, and it's.
Yes, ma'am, and I love your channel, and I love talking to all the different people on your channel. Like it helps me so much.
Oh yeah, yeah. I will see if I can find you right now.
Yes, ma'am. I think I can unblock now. Brown Bear and Innocent Till Proven Guilty is speaking to me, so I see everybody. Hi.
Are you unblocked?
I don't know. Let me see if everybody can see me now.
Let me see here. Oh, there's a bunch of words. I didn't even see these words that were blocked. They blocked word. My mods have been blocking words. Hang on. Are you? What? You're under Louisiana Proud still?
Yes, ma'am. It has a frog at the end of Proud. It's the Louisiana Proud and then a little frog picture.
Okay. See if I can find you. Because sometimes it took me forever to find Snow. Do you remember that? Everybody was like, free Snow. Because sometimes it won't even show up. Like Matthew.
Yes, ma'am.
Matthew says he's blocked, but I can't never see him on here to see if he's blocked. Because it's not, I have to go through and like unblock a bunch of people to even be able to see that. So let me see. And that's probably what I'm going to have to do is unblock a bunch of people to be able to, because I have over 200 people blocked. That's how bad it is. That's bad, ain't it? Let's see, bacon. Wait for it again. Let me see if I can find you here. Oh, wait, no. That's not it. 1,000 Ronald. Louisiana Proud. Okay. Uh, uh, I've even been unblocking people that I know were brats for sure. Just to give them a second chance. And then I have to they end up being blocked again anyway. Let me see. Darn. Huh. There's so many. Okay. There you are. I found you. I just unblocked you. Are you there? Hello, Louisiana Proud.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm here.
I just unblocked you, honey, and I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Thank you, Miss Daisy.
Thank you, honey. Bye.
You have a blessed night. I hope you start feeling better.
Oh, thank you so much, and you have a blessed night too.
You too.
Bye-bye, honey. There she is. She's back. Sorry about that, honey. I'm always on like the lookout, and I guess that there's Lisa K. I got her in here. Daisy, do you know how Margie is doing with her cancer? I have not talked to Dawn about that, Lisa. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else. I don't think she had cancer. Margie didn't have cancer. She had an infection. She didn't have cancer. There she is. I'll put a link out if anybody wants to come up and talk. I'm leaving it open phone and open. I have unblocked a lot of people. But I don't think she had cancer, Lisa. I've been doing the whole dinner myself since my mom passed away for the entire family. I'm always so tired from cooking. I barely eat. Aw. Well, they need to help you. They need to help you. You've never had zucchini bread. Is it supposed to be good? So, yeah, a lot of people is unblocked. I don't think Margie had cancer. She had a bone infection. But I don't think it was cancer. Because I asked Don, and he said it wasn't cancer. It was just an infection, and she had to have IV infusions. She had to go and have, it took a couple hours a day to have the IV infusions. I know Donnie wanted her to come down and live with them, her and the kids and her husband. Yeah, it was an infection. It was a bone infection. Donnie and Candace both are working. Daisy, we should have a live sharing some of our Thanksgiving favorites. That sounds good. That would be good. Always I posted 2 short videos of Hobby Lobby's Christmas stuff. One was Hobby Lobby's Grinch stuff, and another one is Hobby Lobby's other stuff. And I'm getting ready to do a snowman one. I just haven't posted the snowman Christmas decor, just to kind of get y'all off the subject a little bit of this true crime sadness. You need a little balance, guys. You need a little true crime, but then you need to balance it out with something happy and not sad. And so that's why I try to bring that on my farm channel. So it's over on my farm channel. I'm getting ready to do a snowman one. And maybe I'll do a haul because I have bought a few cute things. My hair's probably all over my head right now, but I will show you one thing that I bought at Target. Let me take this down and I'll show you this little cup. Ain't it cute? a little gingerbread cup. Ain't it cute? That was bought at Target. And then I bought another one. And anytime I go to Target, I'm going to film because we don't have a Target here. So I'm going to film it just because people like Target. And so here's another one. Oh, I showed you guys myself. Oh, that's not good. Ah! I look awful. I'm in my moo. This is it right here. Ain't that cute? It's 2 little cups and it was $5 for 2. Was it 5? Yeah, it's $5 for these 2 little cups from Target. Isn't it cute? Cute. And then what else did I buy? And I've had these there. I've had them for a while. I mean, I just collect stuff when I can afford it from Target. And so yeah, I will show you guys that stuff as I get to know them. Oh, y'all want the best smelling candle? They are. And if you want your house to smell like Christmassy, this candle, you don't even have to light it. It's a candleberry candle and it's hot maple toddy and it smells like heaven, like you're baking cookies, and it's like the best candle you can get. Like Jinkies is wanting this candle right now as I'm showing it. I know. It's called Hot Maple Toddy, and it ain't lit, and I can literally smell it. And I'm sick. It's the best, and you can get them at Yoder's if you live in this area. It's called Hot Maple Toddy. Yeah. So I'm trying to see. Yeah. Oh, I gotta show y'all my little cups that I got for sale. I've got this fixed. I lined it out to where it's uneven here. I bought myself one of these. So this is the cup that I'm selling currently. It says Daisy's Farm on it. And I've just kind of evened it out a little bit because it's a little bit higher up here. It's evened out more. I fixed it. My hair's all over my head. I'm sick, y'all. Look over me. But this is the cup that I'm selling. It says Daisy's Farm on it. If anybody's interested, I post a link on my community post. And there's also an iPhone 15 cover that looks just like that. So, yeah. I'm currently thinking about putting up Christmas stuff up in a couple of weeks. Daisy, I just bought a Scene with Jesus being a baby with Mary and the dad in the glass, and the whole cover is made of glass, and it has a button on it. You push it and it plays Oh Holy Night. Oh, I bet that's beautiful. The phone lines are still open if anybody wants to call in. My hair's all over my head right now, y'all, from being sick. But if anybody wants to call in and talk about the summer case, we can talk about it if you want to. I see so many beautiful things, but I don't buy them. So I just show you guys what they have out here. The videos, I'll make videos just because I know some people can't get out and shop. So I try to bring you guys what I can find. In videos, I'll post videos of it. I'm currently, when I get feeling better, going to go back down to Buc-ee's and Miss Daisy, you're still beautiful, honey. Thank you. I was unaware of this. Oh, thank you. Thank you for posting that for me. Thank you for posting that. That's the link to my merch. I actually got 3 stores. I did it wrong through Printify, 3 different stores, but I finally got it right. So, Miss Daisy, you're still good. So, I'm going to be doing Buc-ee's, but I won't be posting the video until after I'm been to Buc-ee's, because I was there doing a live one day, and one of the YouTubers were there, and I ran into her and said hello and everything, but I was unaware that she was snapping photos of me. So allegedly she has photos of me, up until somebody told me later that she took photos of me that day. Daisy, did you get the big nativity set you showed us? Yes, I have it. I've not put it up yet. I'm trying to wait a little bit before I start the Christmas stuff because I have so much fall stuff and I've not been feeling the greatest. But I will be putting that nativity scene up. It's beautiful. And I'm pretty sure that they've sold out of it by now. So I'm glad I grabbed it while I could. Yeah, without my permission. I didn't know that she took pictures of me up until my sister told me that she took pictures of me. The same one we were complaining about a while ago, Abigail. Allegedly, when she ran into me down there, she took pictures of me. Buc-ee's is the world's largest gas station. It literally has everything. And my daughter FaceTimed me from down there the other day, and they had the most prettiest gingerbread stuff. Now, I could go crazy and buy that stuff, but I can't really, it's kind of expensive. But I've already got stuff that I've collected over the years, so I try not to get too wild with it. I try not to maybe 1 or 2 things a year for Christmas, because literally I have tons of stuff, because Hobby Lobby here usually goes on sale after like Thanksgiving, and they put everything like 90% off. So I have got a lot of things from the Hobby Lobby after Christmas. Like when COVID first hit that year, Hobby Lobby was one of the first places to shut down. And then when they came back up, it was after Easter. And so they had all their Easter stuff 90% off. So I have tons of Easter stuff. And they usually will go 60% off right before Christmas. But after Christmas, everything goes 90% off at Hobby Lobby. So that's when you hit your deals, guys, for your Christmas stuff. I have 3 Australian Shepherd Pepper puppies. I'm not real sure how to decorate Christmas is going to go. They chew up most of my fake pumpkins and scarecrows. Yeah, I bet. What the heck, Daisy, did you make their separate pages? I know, I was trying to, I don't know what I was doing. The link for the mug, it's under Critters Crime. I put all the links out on my community post. I know, I'm crazy. Listen, Daisy's not that techy. I really ain't. I'm not a very techie person. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but I'm not too techie. So, there you go. We need a link for the mug, Daisy. I'll have to go back and find it. Oh, for the mug? The mug is under Daisy's shop or Daisy's farm. One or the other. I'd have to go back and find it. I got 3 or 4. Only 7 thumbs up. Really? Oh, come on, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. We got 306 people in here. We need to hit that thumbs up. Come on. If you've not become a member of the Critters Crime family, please consider becoming a member. And if you have not subscribed to my Daisy Farm channel, that's where all the fun is. That's where all the critters are. Thinking about doing a video of Baby Jack from birth on up to now, because y'all know I 98. Okay, y'all know that I helped deliver Baby Jack when he was born, and so I thought about doing a video of his birth till now. and everything. We still are considering getting rid of selling Benny our bull, but we've not decided yet if we're going to or not, because he's actually the friendliest bull one we have, even though he's a handful. He's pretty friendly, but it's 11:30 at night. Nope, the mug in either channel. I looked only shirts and phone case. I'll have to post that on my community post after a while, because I'd have to go back on my phone to actually find that account to steal the link to put on my community post. So that could be why. But the phone lines are still open if anybody wants to call in and voice their opinion about this little boy's case, the little baby's case, or about Summer's case, or just generally talk to Daisy. The phone lines are open. Or what you think of this banner. Oh, thank you, Louisiana Prowl. Let me get that bell. I just seen that bell somewhere. Did I knock it off? Thank you, Louisiana Proud. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. God bless you, Louisiana Proud, for becoming a member of the Critters Crime family. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, if I do a live stream and I feel like it needs to be put in private, I will put it in members only, because I trust my members. If you're going to be a member of mine, usually I will. And usually that's conversations between me or somebody else that I only want my members to be able to see, because unfortunately I love my subs, but there is people out here lurking that is not so nice people. So that's why. Christine sent me some tea. She sent me some tea, herbal tea. It's called Rose Petal Calming Tea. She sent me some other tea too. I might try that because my throat is killing me right now. I have a question, Miss Daisy. Okay. What's the question, honey? If anybody could put my farm channel linked out here for my farm channel, I'd be much obliged by that. Daisy's Farmer Alley. Daisy's Farm. Daisy's Farm. Daisy's Farm. I'm going to show you on my farm channel here. I'll pull it up. Take this down and pull it up. Glad I lost the bell. I know. Here is my farm channel, as you can see. It is actually a farm channel. Here's the videos I posted today from Hobby Lobby. My shorts are usually, that's what it is. I've not really been posting a whole lot. If I go live, it's usually on the farm. Sometimes I'll do a live inside. Here's the Costco one I did where I went to Costco. Here's Buc-ee's. But a lot of fun stuff over here. Not the true crime drama normally that we get. So, yeah. A lot of pretty Hobby Lobby stuff. Sasquatch stuff. We're still looking for Sasquatch, guys. Did your boyfriend in Canada send you back so you can... Oh, you're so stupid. Look here. Be with Don. Feisty Feisty, how old are you? Philly, how old are you? Are you an adult? That's my question. Are you an adult, Feisty? Because it doesn't seem like you're acting like an adult. You're acting like a child, a middle school child, Feisty. That's what you're acting like. Miss Daisy, warm tea will help. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Salisa. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a member of the Critters Crime family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so, so much. God bless you for that. Let me see. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I love you guys. But this is Daisy's Farm channel here. If anybody wants to go over there and subscribe to it. It's much obliged. They'll put the link down here. You'll see a lot of the behind scenes of cows. We were on calf watch here because my neighbor had lost one cow here, and we were on calf watch here because, oh shoot, what I do? She actually had the calf, I think, or maybe she was getting ready to have that calf. On this one, we were on calf watch, so we went over to my neighbor's property to find the pregnant cow, and she was okay because his other cow had passed away from not being able to deliver. Like, my neighbor had the worst luck this year with calves and cows. He really did have a hard time. So we went over there to keep a check on during the day the calves and the cows. And this cow was like, "Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. What can I do to help you?" So it's cute. But that red one, she actually, not that one, but the other one down the hill, did. Miss Daisy, are you going to be on a while? I'm not for sure of how long I'll be on tonight, but I'm trying to be on here for a little bit. She's a pretty cow. She's pregnant too. Well, she's not pregnant now. She's had her baby, but the one we were looking for was actually down the hill, and there's a couple calves down there, little calves. But yeah, we went over there and we were on calf watch. So little things like that we do over there on this channel. You're going to get a lot of farm animals over there. Hang on. Somebody's calling in. Hang on, y'all.
Dom Defer.
Hello, Dom. How are you? You're live with Daisy.
Hi, I'm glad to be live with Daisy.
Hey.
I got to tell you, this was very triggering, as I told you earlier. You know, this is a horrific child abuse case.
Yes.
That we see. This is just, it is a common case. And a lot of it doesn't get published. But,
right.
I have to say, a lot of us nurses come from a background of dysfunction. And maybe we feel this a little bit more personally when we see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I did want to say, in my previous work as a nurse, I was part of an organ donation team.
Yeah.
By trade, I'm a critical care nurse. And I know how to manage patients on ventilators, keep blood pressures up, make sure they make urine, and stay on a ventilator after diagnosis of brain death. Yes, two deaths, brain death or cardiac death. Yeah. If you're brain dead, you can be maintained on a ventilator until you go for organ donation. Mm-hmm. And I do want to say this. I work with many families of children that died from child abuse and head trauma. And I do have to say, the majority of the moms that donated their child's organs, unfortunately, this little Dylan died of a cardiac death and wasn't able to be a donor. But I wonder if his mom would have signed consent for him to be an organ donor. I do believe that she was postpartum. She was drug addicted, very confused, and she made some bad choices.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Dylan died. But had it been a brain death, I wonder if the mom would have said, speaking to an organ procurement coordinator, I've lost my child, but my child has organs that perhaps can help another child. And if anything, maybe Dylan can save some other lives.
Yeah.
And I I wonder if she were approached, if she would have made that decision.
What do you think?
I do have, I think the mom was very, she was dysregulated. It's obvious she was postpartum. I think that she'll have an appeal. She goes on for medical examination and psychiatric examination. Maybe some of that sentence will be mitigated. But I do have to say, in my time working with babies, I've worked with children brain dead at the age of 2 months up until 18 years. It's the little ones, 2 months and, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. I have to say in my career, when I've approached these moms in a clinical setting and offered them the option of donation, a lot of the cases, it's not natural for a child to die so young. And a lot of it's trauma. And I don't want to sound like I'm being prejudiced, but it's always the boyfriend that has something to do with the child's death.
Yeah.
In one particular case, I'll never forget it, Miss Daisy. It was a little 2-year-old boy. Mom went to work. She was working as a nursing assistant. And she left her 2 children with the boyfriend. And the boyfriend put the kids in the tub. And the 2-year-old apparently defecated in the tub. And the boyfriend became so enraged at that he smashed the child's head into the side of the bathtub.
Oh, God.
When mom got home, so when mom got home, she found that her 2-year-old had labored breathing in the bed. Labored breathing, was unresponsive, couldn't wake him up. He just had this labored breathing. Called 911. He was immediately rushed to our trauma center here locally. We have a trauma and transplant center that I did the organ donation with. And within a short time, he was declared brain dead. And we have a wonderful pediatric unit in the facility I worked at, and they did a cerebral blood flow scan. So when you put the brain up on the cerebral blood flow scan and the CAT scan, what it does is it lights up where is the blood going to in the brain. And I showed the picture to the mom, and you could see that the whole brain was black, and the only blood supply was going into the medulla, which is in the back of your lower neck.
Right.
And the rest of the brain was dead. And if we took the baby off the ventilator, the baby would not be able to survive.
Right.
So she did consent to organ donation, and her little 2-year-old actually became a heart donor to a baby with a congenital heart defect.
Wow.
We were able to procure lungs. The lungs did go to another baby that had a congenital defect.
That's awesome.
We were able to donate kidneys, and believe it or not, the 2-year-old's kidneys were able to be transplanted into a 23-year-old.
Wow.
And the kidneys actually grew. So the kidneys grew in the 23-year-old, and then the other kidney went to a 45-year-old, and that kidney grew to accommodate the adult. The liver was transplanted, and it was much experimental in a lot of ways. We donated intestine, and that intestine did take and help the other child's intestinal pancreas issue.
Wow.
Multiple organs were donated from that. But, I'll never forget, Miss Daisy, managing that baby on the ventilator. I was on site for 3 days, did not sleep.
Yeah.
I managed the baby on the ventilator and made sure the baby got enough fluids in to match fluids out as they went into diabetes insipidus. It was a hard management process. And then, securing, going through the UNOS list for patients waiting for organs, for who was first on top of the list. I call the centers. I say NYU, I can't say who I am for confidentiality, but NYU, this is XXX offering you a heart for your first patient on the list. And I'd say the patient.
Wow.
And will you accept this organ? And they'd ask, certain things about blood chemistries and whatnot, and we go through. And yes, we accept. And then I organize the teams to come into our facility to help and do the procurement with us. And I will never forget taking those babies on a ventilator to the OR and having all of these teams that are the receiving teams of the organs to procure, and seeing that little baby. And I remember we had this one anesthesiologist. Now, by rights, you really don't need an anesthesiologist for a brain dead patient.
Yeah.
But the anesthesiologist, this one man in particular, and in this one death where that man smashed that little boy's head in the bathtub.
Wow.
He said to everybody, I had 6 teams in the operating room. And he looked at me and he could see, I had my head covered. My face was covered with a mask. I was in OR scrubs. Yeah. And he could see tears coming down my eyes. And I was trying to hold back gasping.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and you know what he did?
What?
He said, team, I'm the anesthesiologist. We have no lead surgeon because we have 6 teams here.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask everyone to pray.
Yeah.
And say thank you for this tremendous gift.
Exactly.
And I just cried, Miss Daisy. I cried.
I bet you did.
And all I could say, this child abuse and all the horrendous things that happen to innocent victims.
Yeah.
I don't know why God does this in our life.
God's
why
not the
He
one
brings us to suffer. But all
it's
I can
not
say
God,
is,
it's evil. It's the devil.
But I know. But this little baby and his loss, this little Dylan.
Uh-huh.
All I can say is maybe he was the angel that can't come for his siblings.
Yeah.
I don't think his siblings will ever heal. It's probably going to take a lifetime for them to heal.
Yeah. No.
But I think that baby saved them.
Well, let me.
And that's all I have to say.
No.
And I'm really emotional. I'm crying, and I'm sorry, Miss Daisy,
It's
and I'm going to
okay.
hang up.
Well, Dame,
I thank you.
I want to ask you.
I thank you for everything you do.
Dame, I need to ask you another question before you hang up. Can you answer?
Yeah.
Was you responsible for this child after they were finished?
I'm sorry?
Was you the one that had to take care of the child after the teams took what they needed, like you post-opted this child?
During that process, as the organ procurement coordinator in the operating room,
Uh-huh.
I was responsible for boxing their organs in ice.
Uh-huh.
And giving it to the team that was leaving because we only have a couple. We were time constrained to get the live organ to the recipient because the recipient's on the operating table.
Uh-huh.
And when they sutured him up, it was really. And I saw this. I saw them suture the little baby up.
I know.
I have to tell you, I was with this organization for 5 years. I cannot tell you, Miss Daisy, the sleep deprivation. It takes days and days. And the emotional trauma of what it is to deal with placing organs, managing patients on ventilators, talking to families.
Yeah.
And having to go in a wide breadth of a whole territory. I covered a large part of New York City.
Wow.
And it was just days and days. I remember my director, I'll never forget this.
Uh-huh.
My director of the organization, he says to me, it was a bad ice storm in upstate New York. And I had to we were in partnership with a couple of other states that border us, like Massachusetts and Vermont. And I remember I had to go to an upstate New York, very high, Plattsburgh. I had to go to Plattsburgh to respond for a call of an 18-year-old that went through a windshield because his father was drunk on New Year's.
Wow.
It was on New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve. And I got the call, and I said, okay, I got to go up. And we couldn't travel. Everything was ice. It was all ice. Nothing could travel.
Right.
So my director says, well, Debbie, I'll fly you guys with a King Air. We'll take a King Air out of your local airport, and we'll send you over to Vermont.
Okay.
So I said to him, I said, I don't feel comfortable. I said, I have my own 2 little children.
Right.
I said, you understand if I die, I have nobody that's going to take care of them.
Right.
I said, they're right now with my mother. This is New Year's Eve. So anyhow, he says to me, and he gives me the sign of the cross in the airport. He actually met me in the airport. That was nice of him. He gives me the sign of the cross. Don't worry about it. I go in there with this new girl. She's an RN, and she's a new coordinator. And we start taking off. We hit an air pocket, and the damn airplane goes from high, all of a sudden, bam, starts going to low in this air pocket. And this new girl, her name, I'm not going to say her name, but her name begins with a J. J immediately puts her head down in between her legs and starts vomiting. And I said, I promise you, this job is not that bad. I said to her, this job's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're on orientation. You have to see this. I said, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. And we landed. You know what the damn unbelievable thing was, Miss Daisy?
What's that?
So it was an 18-year-old. I got consent for lungs. The 18-year-old healthy kid. Lungs, heart, liver, and kidneys.
Wow.
And I started calling Mount Sinai, New York. I started calling Massachusetts, calling all of these centers that had, because the blood type matched and who was first on our list. You know, because it was New Year's, they wouldn't respond.
Are you
so
serious?
You know what I said? Yeah, because it was the holiday. These are life-saving organs. You know what I said? Screw you people. Screw you. I went out of the list. I went out of the UNOS list, and I started offering those organs to other regions.
Right.
Do you know, I called California. Now, you only have 8 hours to transplant a heart. I called California, and I said, I have a heart. Blood type O or whatever it was. 18-year-old, gave all the vital signs. No past medical history, and I offered out to somebody in California.
Wow.
And it was bad weather. You know what California said?
What?
We accept.
Yes.
We went through. I placed all those organs outside of my UNOS district into the Midwest
Good
and
for
out in
you.
the West. And I fought. And I fought for that.
Wow.
But I'm going to tell you, this is a dynamic that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here as far as the child abuse and everything. But I do have to say, when you have a death like that with children being horrendously abused, it does result in brain death sometimes.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes the parent has nothing. They have nothing, but they may have the feeling after they lose their child that some part of their child is living in another.
Exactly.
And now I went off course, but you made me feel better all of a sudden, Miss Daisy. I'm not crying anymore.
Oh, good.
So I'm gonna hang up. I don't want to hold up your chat and your mind.
Well, thank you.
I love you.
I love you too, and you're an angel.
A great program today, and I love talking to a fellow nurse. I love you.
I love you too, and thank you for calling and sharing that with us.
Yes. All right. You good night.
You
good
too.
night. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. And the thing is When a nurse takes on that, the nurse is also responsible for that post-op patient. So not only probably, that's what I was asking her. I don't know for sure, but more than likely, if she started the surgery, she has to finish it out. That nurse stays with that patient until afterwards. So more than likely, she had to do the postpartum, not postpartum, but post-op care and get the body ready to be taken to, if she didn't take it herself, to the morgue after the organs were taken out. I don't know if she was a part of that, but I do know that the nurse that takes care of that patient takes care of that patient from the time they go to the OR, which I had to do when as an OB nurse, until postoperatively you go and you take care of the whole thing, including the patient afterwards. So more than likely, if she was his nurse during the process of the organ transplants, she probably was also the one to clean him up, put his clothes on him, and take him to the morgue. Call the funeral home, call, when you have a patient die, the nurse is responsible for, a lot of times an RN, I pronounce death a lot as an RN. Not only do you get the patient ready for presentation for the family to come and visit, but you have to call the family, you have to call the funeral home, you have to get the funeral home to come out and pick the patient up, but you have to get that patient presentable for the family, because the family will be seeing that patient before the funeral home comes and actually takes that patient. If the funeral home is unavailable to take the patient at that time, then you would call the morgue or take the patient to the morgue yourself. So that's not ending. When a patient passes away, that's not the ending for the nurse. The nurse has to be responsible. For me, where I didn't work with the organ donation, when I had a patient pass away, I would be the one responsible for calling. I think it was called Cobra at that time. It was an organ transplant. And they would ask me questions about the patient. And then we would ask the family if they wanted to donate, and then go from there. But not only do you have to notify the family of the death if they're not present, you have to ask them about the funeral home. You have to call the funeral home. You have to call the doctor and let the doctor know that the patient has passed away. You have to make sure that patient's presentable and cleaned up for the funeral home to come and get them. There's just so many things. If they've got IVs, you take their IVs out. If they've got a Foley, you take every orifice. Now, I have left IVs in for the funeral home per funeral home request to where they can embalm, but most of the time we took the IVs out. So the nurse is responsible a lot for the death of a patient. So more than likely, if Dame had this little baby, this little 2-year-old, at the time that the organs were transplanted, she had to finish the surgery up with taking the child, getting it ready for its parent, after it, cleaning it up post-operatively, putting clothes on it, calling the funeral home, or taking the baby to the morgue, letting the family see the baby. You name it, that nurse has to do all of that before her shift ends. And if her shift is ended and she's not done it, and she's probably got 5 to 7 more patients to take care of besides that one death. Yeah. I don't know how it worked in her unit, but a normal nurse that has a death on their floor, yeah. And don't even get me started about having to ship them to another hospital. That's a lot in itself, especially if you call a rapid response or a code stroke. If a person is having a massive stroke and you have to ship that patient, the first priority is to take care of that patient and get that patient stable. Then you got to take care of everything else, which is getting an order from the doctor, doing a ton load of charting, finding a helicopter to transport that patient. I mean, there's just so many steps you have to take. Plus, take care of 5 or 6 other patients at the same time. And you could have 2 patients crashing at the same time. I've had that happen. It's not fun. No matter, even though you're in a dilemma in this shape, you still have to be responsible. They don't want to hear excuses. Oh, well, I had this patient crashing. No, you better be taking care of them all, honey. So that's why I was saying about this. Hats off to Dame. Hats off to Dame. Because them kind of patients are the hardest ones. The little ones that succumb to the injuries of family members. Sad. Unfortunately, this little one didn't even have a chance to donate his organs. The funeral homes take great care with the babies also. They even place them in the arms of another woman in their morgue who they know is a matter so that the baby still isn't alone. Aw, that is true. That's true. Yeah. It's sad, guys. It's sad. I mean, I've given babies to their mom and let them take home. They were only a few weeks pregnant for their babies and they miscarried. And so I let them hold their babies and I said, "You want to take your baby home?" And they said, "Yeah." So they took their little miscarried baby home with them and buried them on their own terms. They were only like 12, 13 weeks, but they're still a little human with arms, legs, eyes, nose, perfection at that age. Toes, fingers. Yes, at 12 to 13 weeks pregnant, your baby looks like a baby. So that mother's, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, that is closure for a mother to be able to hold their baby, no matter how many weeks pregnant she is, for her to hold her baby, caress her baby in her hands, and do with her baby what she wants to do is closure for that mother. So, with that being said, guys, I've been on here 3 hours and 51 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I'm glad that we did get some justice for baby Dylan, and hopefully baby Harmony Montgomery will get some justice and all these other children that's missing. I don't know what we're going to cover tomorrow, but we'll cover something. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live, and we'll take me some medicine and go to sleep. I love you guys. Thank you all for all your support, all your super chats, all your memberships. Thank you for watching my live, being subscribers to my channel. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow, and stay prayed up. Stay safe out here on these YouTube streets because it's crazy out here. I love you all. Thank you, Dane, for sharing your beautiful story, and thank you. That's right.